to browser, which is where it was before the domestic terror manually overrode my clicking selection in the task menu and criminally and illegally selected on incognito tab. There is a 10-second delay, Nerd Squad. It is 1:02 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Tuesday, February 5th, 2025. This is a consensual recording with Mystic Gwen pursuant to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Now, I'm going to turn on the chat timestamp. Okay, it's already on there. And I'm going to write 1:03 p.m. PST, initiated new live after male upstairs aided and abetted females who wanted to attempt illegal entry after he shut off the live by manually clicking on my task manager to do so. On the live while sharing the screen. Make sure you read the last 4 published lives descriptions. Some of you are wondering, well, what about the preceding live stream that we just shut off? Nobody can see it. Oh, no, you're about to see it. Now I'm going to open up a new window. Oh, before I do that, whoop. We're going to share a screen since the domestic terrorists upstairs are actively still trying my door and perpetrate more terrorism. Here's the screen. Now we're going to click on what would be my studio. But look, guys, remember what I showed you in the preceding live stream? This is Unit 207's Domestic Terrorist Organizations browser. See those? It's the Domestic Terrorist Organizations browser. Pretending to be me. And we're going to ignore that. Who cares? We're going to go to Studio YouTube and make that prior video public. And then you're going to see them. See, it's already initiated. Terminate the live stream. And it's actually disconnecting it completely from the internet to terminate the live stream. And now service worker has popped up. And this page hasn't loaded because the domestic terrorists upstairs are 100% responsible for that. Okay. Now we're going to click on channel content here in their browser that they're controlling while they spare render and attempt to perpetrate more domestic terrorism, showing their criminal intent and criminal conspiracy to their domestic terrorist organization, which again was only an aggravated criminal conspiracy and then became a domestic terrorist organization on August 6th. It has never been a legit operation. Not for a minute. Let's click back on the live stream and see if it's still recording. Looks like it is. Here's the preceding live stream, which says it's still running. It's not. That's because of their domestic terrorist organization ending it. We're going to scroll over here and we're going to make it public. Click publish. Yep. It also shouldn't say live at all. So let's click on the control room for this live. Yeah, it appears it's still recording when it shouldn't be. So we'll push end stream from there. Then we'll X out of that tab and we'll go right back. As you can see here, we've got incognito extensions, spare renderers kicking off. We're back on their browser. We're going to go back now to my studio, which they're in, and we're going to make sure that video is public and that it's reflected as ending, as having been ended. And there they are again, the white screen, the spare renderer, the service worker that isn't a service worker, that should say domestic terrorist upstairs, Child abusers, stalkers, fraudsters, thieves, hackers upstairs in Unit 207. All right, now we're going to click back on the channel content to make sure that preceding live stream is indeed set to public. And let's see what the end time is on that live stream. They believe they've hacked into my account, as they've clearly made it so that no longer right here are you visually seeing what you were just seeing before their browser. It's still very much them. Trying to scroll down to see if that preceding live stream reflects as public. And here it is. That video is 2:25, 1:21 a.m., Unit 207, NEP terrorist on exterior, waiting for this live to end to perp more felonies. Reflects as running for 11 hours, 44 minutes, and 6 seconds. And now we're going to end this page and crash it. Whoop. Back to the screen share. We're going to end the incognito extension. We're going to end the spare renderer. We're going to open up a new tab now. And we're going to go and click on that preceding live stream. We'll set the task up here to browser, since you saw, unless they cut it out at the right time, that they criminally and illegally literally overrode my selection here and selected this and to end it. So let's open a new window. There we go. There's Unit 207's terrorist browser. We'll end the spare renderer. We've got the subframe Chrome untrusted. And now we're going to go to Mystic Gwen's YouTube channel. Which again, if you saw in the prior live, they were able to terminate the prior live stream. Oh yeah. And I'm going to risk it again. And you can see right here, they're actively attempting to terminate the one that's running. A variety of ways. Again, further showing their criminal intention and commitments. You can't say it's negligence. That's what some of you don't realize. Remember, you've never been competing with me. You've been incriminating yourselves for the FBI. All these bouncing and everything, this is all of them. Waiting for my YouTube channel to load so we can click on it and see if the preceding live stream shows up to the end when I was orally saying how they were attempting to come to my door. That's basically what I want to know. Because as you saw in this live stream, it reflected as still running 11 hours and 49 minutes late. But then when we looked at it to make sure that it was set to public, it said 11 hours and 44 minutes. All right, so I'm going to click on this, and it may terminate this live stream if the FBI allows them to do so again in that same manner. But again, I want to go to the end and see exactly where it cut off. Just watch on the left-hand side, and you'll see everything that they're doing. Even the shit that is set up to hide doesn't actually hide, as you've already seen. We're waiting for the video to load because of them. It's available. Okay, I guess I will end process on this and refresh the page. Ending process. Let's refresh. The refresh causes spare renderer and service worker again. And as you can see, the YouTube page hasn't loaded because of them. Oh, it says they criminally and illegally cut it off 11 hours, 15 minutes. My goodness. Well, let's scroll to that. So they erased some of the footage, the girlies upstairs. Well, nobody came to my door. They also erased me showing you their criminal activities. Note here how I wrote things like 12:20 p.m. terrorist on exterior.
They didn't want a live stream. Guess what, baby girls?
See?
This will be rolling at 1.
And it was.
Have I told you?
They criminally and illegally shut it off less than 2 minutes before this one began.
And I've told you not to.
And as you saw yourself, it was still running for 11 hours and 49 minutes. And as you saw in the studio, it reflects as being 11 hours and 44 minutes. But you got you got me on there. You heard me saying they wanted to come to my door before 1. So since
And
they
you have to
couldn't
watch
do
the
that,
music
they
video.
criminally and illegally cut off
But if
and
you watch the
erased those
music
minutes
video,
that you
you're
saw
like, Panda
yourself
Hat,
from the
Gold
studio,
Glovers.
from my
We
channel,
all wish we were this kid when we were
and
20.
from when we went
I
in
don't care
to
what
end
color
it.
skin you are, man. He is fly. And he's fly because he's so fucking nerdy and ridiculous at the same time. That's what makes him fly. It's a compliment.
Oh, my bad. 11 hours and 50 minutes or whatever.
Anyway, Brooke Kreischer loves this song.
This was the
but
music
he gets
video
way
that
many
was
times
playing
around
when they
his
shut
car
it off.
That young kids who see him are going to think he's racist if he sings
So
this
I
song.
don't think
And
they
I
erased
told
it.
her on my live. Sing
Because
song.
this was the end. Yo. Yo. This again. Yeah, motherfuckers.
Domestic terrorist, don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch.
What?
You're going to the federal penitentiary. Your perceived authority don't mean a fucking thing. Except for who's going to be charged with aggravated criminal charges. Don't believe me, terrorist, just not. Even you, Asian women, we know about you.
My nigga. Don't worry. You can call me nigga. I'm a nigga. It's true, dude. Ignorance is bliss, man. I'm good with being a nigga. That means I'm dumb.
We landed upside down.
We almost died.
Died.
Fuck you, whore. Of course you're paying. Woo. Count them up.
You know this. Let me give your ass a checklist. Oh, as you can see, actively attempting to terminate it at 12:54. Why? Because they have 5 minutes left. So I'm ending this process at instantly. And look at that. The live stream's still running because you're going to prison. You're dumb as fuck. Stay the fuck away from the door. Class. Domestic terrorists. Let's go over the song. Let's go over the song again.
We have a new verse.
Mystic Gwen's door is a no. Unless you want to go to the federal penitentiary. We'll add a new line, a new verse. Even if you terminate the live stream, that makes you further prove your criminal intent and criminal commitment and loyalty to your domestic terrorist organization that was formerly only an aggravated criminal conspiracy and has never once, not even for a minute, ever been a legit operation. Which is something the FBI would happily verify for you if you weren't going to prison and/or a known associate of 1 or 10 individuals who are.
Count them up.
It's 12:56 p.m. As I told you already, Lisa.
Do you have wax in
Codename
your
Lisa.
ears, Lisa? Oh, that's why she probably wanted to terminate it. That's what I was doing.
The live stream
Let's
is
finish
not
this
going
video.
to be turned off at 1 p.m. An exterior stalker just went into Unit 207's front door at 12:56 p.m. Little elf man, you weren't as quiet that time.
No, you weren't, Orlando Bloom. That's your new code name, dude. I'm calling you Orlando Bloom.
Lisa,
Ah,
do you have wax in your ears, Lisa?
Lisa. Oh, did it mute me there? Really? I thought I explained.
do it
Oh, here we
again.
go. Let's do it again. We are going to do it again, baby. We're going to do it again.
Is it risky? Not really at all. If they come to my door, I don't talk to them. The door doesn't open like they already know, like has been the case every time. It's criminal of them. They're still caught on camera. It's just not Mr. Gwynn's live stream. It's the FBI's camera. And they're very
Smile and wave. I know some of you are doing that, and it's fucking hilarious.
So let's do it again. This time, some of you are probably wondering, what the fuck is she talking about? Codename Lisa. It's a Tom Green skit, okay? I like symbolism. It's a skit from when Tom Green swam across Lake Washington.
We're going to do that now, okay? Lisa.
Well, you're about to find out. So over 50% of the individuals upstairs, remember, are victims. Yeah. Anyway, the whistleblowers can't even, like, they're totally fucked. Anyway, that being said, some of the whistleblowers I have given nice code names to. For instance,
Phil and
Phil and
Glenn.
Glenn upstairs. They may or may not have penises.
And the
okay?
flutist.
Phil and Glenn
And
are
the
cooler than
flutist.
Tom Green. Tom Green isn't like me.
That's where it ended. Okay, so Tom Green isn't like me. Why? Because Tom Green would never admit that Phil and Glenn are cooler than him, but they are. Okay, this has been verified. And I love Tom Green. But Phil and Glenn, you're going to spend a week in the woods. Tom Green will keep you alive and be moody and not very much fun. Let's be real. Okay. Glenn and Phil are the fun. They also make Tom act out in ways that are hilarious. Anyway. Then there's codename Lisa, i.e. Mini-Me, i.e. Tom Dooley. Okay. So this skit is the Lake Washington skit. And Lisa does not like it. Lisa, I might add, codename Lisa is not black, just to be clear. And Glenn and Phil are totally like Glenn and Phil in this fucking video, man. When they're on the boat, smoking and telling me about the distance I have left. It's like, shut the fuck up while you sit on the boat smoking your cigarettes. Anyway, symbolism. They might terminate this live stream. There'll be a new one if they do.
Trapped in a cycle of opioid
You
use,
see it right here.
withdrawal, and
They're already on it.
Sublocade is for adults with moderate to
Destroy!
severe opioid addiction.
Destroy the
Withdrawal
live
symptoms
stream!
are controlled by oral
Alu Akbar!
for
Kim
7
Jong-un
days
makes
and should
best
be used with
rockets!
counseling.
We're going to get this plane right side up, goddammit. Ignore the water.
I'm in front of Lake Washington right now. I'm about to swim across this lake. We're about to hold a press conference just down the park here, and apparently CNN has showed up, NBC, ESPN, ABC. This woman has showed up right here. See that woman? She showed up.
This is Kairos.
That was the Jersey Devil.
He's
She can be the lady running around the corner.
on MTV.
An MTV host mostly goes where few men have gone before, all for the sake of comedy.
My name is Tom Green. I'm a swimmer. I'm skinny, and I'm fast, and my body is made of 80% water. My brain tells
Dude,
me
this
that
logic
if I'm
is so
80%
good,
water,
though. Only 20% of me
then
will have to
really only
swim.
20% of me is going to have to swim. The rest just mixes in with the water. I understand Bill Gates lives on this lake somewhere, and he may have $50 billion. But Bill Gates doesn't have the balls to swim across Lake Washington. And I do have the balls. And balls aren't for sale. Do you hear me, Bill? The balls aren't for sale.
Let's just pause it there, though, and say this was before Tom Green got testicular cancer and lost a nut. Okay, dude? Tom Green was never the same after he lost a nut, which Godzilla may have done because he was like, you were too fucking vain when you were swimming across Lake Washington talking about the balls aren't for sale. I'm just going to take one. Because our creator is a fucking monster. You realize that, everybody? You have to realize that. Talking about Stockholm syndrome, we're all suffering from that in a spiritual sense. Godzilla. Dude, Godzilla literally made the Hitler puppet, man. Just think about that, okay? Anyway, perhaps Godzilla gave him testicular cancer and stole one of his nuts because he's screaming about how his balls weren't for sale. And Godzilla was like, all right, I'm taking one of your balls for free. And on that note, for those of you that don't know, Tom Green basically got blacklisted from Hollywood giving him any good deals after he did Freddy Got Fingered. And it's fucked up. And he's great and he's still funny. But just throwing that out there for anyone that doesn't know. Did he get less funny after he lost a ball and got blacklisted from Hollywood? Yes. He got fucking depressed, dude. And he hung on for 20 years.
I see an ambulance over there. You might as well take that.
Phil and Glenn didn't. Phil and Glenn work on the computers.
Somebody who needs it. Ambulances are for losers.
And they have all their balls.
Winner, man. After the Chicago Bulls won the NBA championship. Did you see them driving around in ambulances? No, because they're winners. I bet you a lot of you are hoping that I drown out there today, so that you'll see something cool on the news. Ha ha ha! He's dead. Ha 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 ha! Come to Seattle, conquer our lake. Ha ha ha! Ha! Look at the guy. Oh, look, they're pulling the body out of the water. Ha ha ha! Well, I'm not gonna die today. Where's Carrie? Come out here and play the flute.
There's my flutist. Known girl upstairs. All I know about the female whistleblower upstairs is that I would like her.
Lisa Myers from Q13 reports at 10.
Oh, there's Lisa.
This is
Fucking
great.
Lisa.
I'm wondering what you'll do if you get too tired to make it to the other side.
Clearly, Lisa wasn't listening to the speech today. There is absolutely no chance, Lisa, that this man is tired.
Are you planning to drown, sir?
Lisa has asked if I'm planning to drown. Do you have wax in your ears, Lisa? I just talked for 15 minutes about I'm swimming across the lake. All right, thank you very much.
This new music host Tom Green is pulling off another stunt. Green's trying to swim across the cold, choppy lake. We'll let you know if the MTV star pulls it off.
If I can see it, then I
So fucking stupid. And also great. Stupid and great,
Follow
dude.
Green on his journey from Magnuson Park to Marina Park in Kirkland.
Tom, see that building up there with all the horizontal glass? That's your target.
Way over there in the marina? Are you doing this? Yeah. You're going to be able to do this, Tom. You can do this.
I think you can make it, man.
Okay, well, instead of her smoking, how about this? Don't talk to me anymore. We're just going across the lake.
You can do it. You got it, man. You got it, man.
I kicked this lake's ass! No man has ever swum across Lake Washington in the history of Lake Washington until today. I kicked Lake Washington's ass!
Okay. So
Everyone's talking about the salt trick.
since we were able to play that and this live stream hasn't terminated from the domestic terrorist upstairs, I might be being ballsy, or it might just be that I'm fully aware that the FBI has got full surveillance and that nobody's going to be getting away with jack shit. But I'm going to roll into another podcast, which I hope is on here. I don't even know if there is video of it, but I think there is because there is on Spotify. It's Tuesday, and I want to hear Bertcast. With Adam Ray, Cam Hayward, and Rich Eisen. I don't even know who these guys are.
Hey guys, quick reminder about the Two Bears 5K with me, Tommy, and Jelly Roll in Tampa.
If the live
May
stream
4th
ends for
at
any
Raymond
reason
James
without me
Stadium.
orally
Do
and
not miss
explicitly
out on
telling you the
early
end
bird.
time, be advised I didn't end it. My door is closed. I'm still not going to talk to anybody who's stupid enough to
It's
approach
not
it and
cool.
squawk at me.
It's not
And
cool, but
a
also
new
for
live
guys that's
stream
been
will
asked a million
initiate,
questions this
even if
year
that means I
alone,
have to
from
use the
combine
fail-safe
to
the
the
FBI
grad
provided
and
me
to the
with, which
season,
would
to the
cause a
playoffs.
delay
Ask
that I
question.
don't know would take,
Definitely
we'll
not. I
say,
imagine it's the first time
10
he
to
asked how old your
perhaps
mom. He was
20
wondering where
minutes
he's going
to
with
do
that.
everything I need to do.
And
It may
he's
be
just like, you know,
significantly
your
less
mom's
than that,
even, I'm
but
too old for your mom.
the series of steps I'm to take, it's a process.
Why do you think your parents made you? What position were they in?
No, there's young parents, 45 and 44, both 45, and they're really active in his life. And then I pivoted. It's my brain, right?
Where did you?
I don't know this dude at all. Rich is like in love with the guy. He's like, he's really good, Bert. And I was like, okay. Rookie of the year. I'm joking, but what's
And
crazy
I'm leaving
is,
it on
is
screen share
a lot of people-
just because they've been
random thing is,
attacking
like,
with the YouTube videos, so I'm
they
gonna leave
took
it on
the-
while I'm doing the YouTube
the
videos.
commanders to the.
I haven't heard anything
I know they
upstairs,
did
but
that,
I'm
but then
expecting
when
now
we
that they're
talked
not
to
going to come and do
RG3,
exterior stalking
and
today
RG3 is explaining,
because,
black
well,
tooth
that
brains to
shit
us. And he said, I used
is
to have
in the preceding live streams title, isn't it?
The one when the brain is like this.
You're asking a white ball fan.
Just
about it.
speculating.
Step up.
I'm the least qualified person sitting here, I'd imagine, to answer that question. But sorry.
He used to, RG3 used to have his exact same braids.
Oh,
Yeah, when he played for the Redskins, I think they were back then.
they were.
And so I pivoted. I did such a great job. I was like, this is why you're such a great analyst, because only you can speak to the singular experience of being a rookie in Washington and great football
grown
talent.
stuff. Our baby is all grown stuff.
And your braids.
The braids were the thing that tied it all together. And he's grown stuff. Fantastic.
Oh, when did you get here?
I got here Tuesday, but I was at Pro Bowl last week, so I've been home.
What a flex.
It's not a flex.
It's an absolute flex.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's a big flex. It's a big
You guys
flex.
live out in California. That's a flex. That's a flex.
Yeah.
Austin's the flex.
Not like I was. I'm sorry. I couldn't get to the Super Bowl till Tuesday because
I was at the Pro Bowl.
I was at the Pro Bowl.
That's pretty bad. Hang on. Do you realize how much I would throw that shit around like a big dick in a locker room? I would be like, I'm so sorry, I can't hear you. My son, part of hearing from the Pro Bowl I was at.
Which I did nothing at. So
What did you do?
nothing. I did a tug of war like two hours in.
You had to be a factor on the tug of war, though.
No, I wasn't.
Why?
Because Vita Vea and Dexter Lawrence weigh like 400 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tug of war is also not a game you can really prep for unless you went to summer camp. Like, when's the last time you tug of war?
Middle school?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not fun.
Yeah.
Everybody else is wearing gloves. I'm not.
That's not fair.
You weren't prepared.
I wasn't.
That's it. It's as simple
I
as
looked
that.
it up on Wikipedia to see if there was anything. Nothing.
What about the origin story of tug of war?
Is there any tips I can have for tug of war?
Wait, how great if he's on the plane and you're like, oh shit, is that Cam? And you're like, yeah, and you kind of walk up to say hi, and he's Googling tug of war, and you're like, what the?
Okay. Well, I'm like, guys, you got to lean back, straighten your leg out.
These days.
Nobody cared.
Can I tell you, I got mocked yesterday because, now, you guys will appreciate this, okay? So, when we watch football, we just see the person's body, the whole body.
Right.
And the helmet, not a lot of the face. But when they play football, they see the thing inside the face. They see the face inside. That's what they're face to face with, is other men going, right? And we never get to see that. You're already laughing. Stop laughing.
Because I don't know how many people make that noise. Do people grunt at you?
No. Nobody grunts at me.
What's your helmet face look like?
I don't know.
Like when you
Show us the man behind the mask.
You just go down and you just go like this. Go.
Great question.
Like he's waiting for the bus?
I want to hear the answer.
There's got to be like a helmet face where you're like,
Yeah, what's your
come
helmet?
on, come on.
I'm more just taken in the play, so I'm looking around. I'm like this, but
Oh, that's scary as shit.
That is, yeah.
So just when you lowered your eyebrows, I
You
went,
saw that? I know. Because like when I played Wolverine at Universal Studios, before I went out into the park, sorry, another flex, sorry guys.
Yeah,
But,
you were there.
yeah. Yeah.
Did I take a picture with you?
Probably as a child, yes. But so I would always get chastised by the other Wolverines because I would be backstage waiting to go out, just standing there. And I walked, before I walked out one day, the first string Wolverine walked on and he goes, what are you doing? And I go, oh, I'm just waiting to go on. He's like, you're not going to get in the character? I go, what do you mean get in the character? I go, I'm dressed like him. Is that enough? And he's like, no, you got to like psych yourself up. I go, what do you mean? He's like, well, I'm like, back here, I'm like thinking about who Wolverine is, like how he's going to make these kids' days. I go, I just kind of look in my phone and go, I'm Wolverine.
I believe Unit 207 isn't attacking right now because they're trying out some other things, and that's fine. Oh, I'm not allowed to authorize any emails. I can't open any of them.
Wolverine, and then it was going to end. No, I thought you told me the story of being Wolverine.
Aside from two I've been given permission to.
The thing that I picked up is you were second.
I didn't even think about that.
Throw up the task manager.
Like that. You're right.
Oh yeah, a lot of shit going on with that, eh?
The same way he's reading up on tug of war, that's why he's going to go to the hall.
You're right. You're right.
Oh no,
I
just
was
service
looking at
workers
that, and I
again.
was just thinking, like, grown men without kids are coming up to him just to take pictures.
Oh yeah. I went up to, I got a picture with me and Greg Maddox, Dave Matthews, and almost Michael Jackson.
So you're as Wolverine?
Yeah.
Video is blocked.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Video is blocked.
You're as Wolverine. Like, and Dave Matthews is like this, and you're like, it's good.
Well, I would break character. I would break
Get a
character.
picture. Get
All
a
right.
picture.
Yeah. Well, I would break character and go up to him. Like Greg Max was eating like an ice cream cone with his kids. I went up and I do bits. This is also why my boss hated me because I would do bits. She's like, Wolverine's not funny. Stop making jokes. And I was like, I have an open mic tonight. I'm trying to work things out. And I went to Greg Max. I was like, dude, you're one of the best ever. And he just like his ice cream cone. He goes, oh shit. He goes, can you just like break character like that? I go, yeah, dude, I don't want to be here. And he was like, all right, cool.
Wait, that was your conversation with Greg Maddox?
How depressing.
How do I get out of this?
How depressing if this had not worked out for him. How depressing is it
I'd still
to
be there.
be Dave Matthews and have Wolverine break character? Hey man, you know I'm a comedian, right? And Dave Matthews is like, I'm
Going to my studio.
And he's like, no, man. My name's Adam. I'm Adam. And he's like, I didn't think you were the real Wolverine.
Or he's just got all the pictures lined up of Greg Maddox and Michael Jackson. He's standing next to
Let me see here. The domestic terrorists are in my studio again. See? Are we going for the same reason? I'm going to look and see if the FBI said that one of the individuals they're most excited to throw in prison was here. Oh, this isn't where I wanted to be. I wanted to be just at the studio screen. Oh, there we go. This is the screen that I wanted to be at.
Oh my God. It is unbelievable.
I'm going to enlarge this.
Yeah.
We'll throw the task manager up here
Yesterday
too.
we were doing the best.
We're going to scroll down and see.
How'd you do it?
Great segue.
If videos were only blocked in Russia and Belarus, it means that individuals or an individual the FBI is excited to throw in prison
and Jason Kelsey got to like 40
was on the
and they started
premises
getting tired.
while that live stream was rolling.
and like getting him in his hand.
Does not apply if
standing
it's
over it, just
other
kind of
areas
spotting
as well.
And I'm seeing football face going, and I was like, oh, shut up. And I said that, and then I got mocked. Like, football face?
What are you making?
This is a potato salad. It's going to be our side.
I don't know what's
We are
going on. This
making,
isn't the actual page that I
bombing
should be on,
So, like,
and it's not
Vietnamese
showing my
population is huge
thousands
in,
of videos.
in New Orleans. And it's because it's the same latitude.
So let's open up the
So
task
they feel
manager.
more
We see
comfortable
I-9 down
coming
here, so it's
and
obviously
all
the domestic
dishes
terrorists
are the same. There's
upstairs.
a lot of rice and a lot of the same.
Are they
and
attempting
the
to erase all of
bombing
my
homeboys are
videos
super
now?
hot
Is that
now.
the new thing today?
What's your diet like?
It's not this. That's for
But
sure.
you don't-
Like I come here, and I'll be honest. I come here, and the cuisine. It's just like it's pretty much every entree
Back
has
to
one
content.
ingredient too many.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I don't usually make something, and you're
One
like
ingredient,
like
too
you know what
many.
I'm missing.
Keep in mind,
This is
Google,
missing
for
a
those of you
little
that don't know,
You
it's
know?
been declassified since like
I'd like to put some more
2015.
alligator in this.
The
thing. You know,
CIA
that's not me.
controls
I'm a Jew
Google,
from
guys.
New York. You know, I like.
There's not a thing you're going to be doing on Google, including making fraudulent accounts and shit.
Sort of, you know,
That isn't 100%
yeah,
trace
you know
right
what I
back
mean?
to
Like,
you.
it's so I appreciate you giving me like the whole
That's
history
declassified,
of,
baby.
longitude with Vietnam and shit like that, but it's just like I hear this.
If you just got up and walked out right
I'm
now,
like,
that would be unbelievable.
I know. I'm like,
You know what? I want you and your
I
potato
won't
salad.
walk out. I mean, if we could.
Are you bringing that
If
for
I
the
could,
cookout?
if I could order in, that would be great. I'll just sit here and talk. I'll sit here and talk.
I got you
know?
a Jimmy John's on the way.
Like that. I'm not interested in that. Whatever he's cutting up right now.
Jalapeno?
No. Oh my God. I can't do anything
Give a
hot.
Jew a jalapeno.
Oh my God. I
Wait.
cannot do anything hot. My kids want me to go on hot ones in the worst way.
There we
I
go.
would last more than
933
3
that
That's
are
why I
just
ate
in the live
Would it
section.
really? Oh yeah.
Wait, Adam,
Hundreds
are you
more in the ones that aren't lives
Well,
that are
yes,
just
I
videos.
know. That was accusatory.
Wait, let me do it. Let me see.
Can we kind of do a take two on that?
Do you want to eat
Okay.
more?
Do you want to eat more?
Okay, I'm going to enlarge this because I want to see. Was it only blocked in Russia and Belarus? Because if so,
Your name is Kreischer.
that means people the
My
FBI is
first
excited to throw in
Hollywood
prison
deal.
were here.
I signed the deal, and then they go, we'd love to bring you out to LA. Want to do a big meeting, bring you in. And I go, cool.
Partially
and I get
blocked,
in, and they go,
that's what I
hey,
wanna
it's
see.
very nice of you to do this on Yom Kippur. And I went, I'm not Jewish. And they went, you're not? And I went, uh-oh.
Did you
I
get the
go-
job still or
I was
no?
like, no, I meant My mom's not Jewish.
Oh,
Good save.
way to cover yourself.
And they're like, oh, cool. I was like, neither is my
Okay,
dad.
video titled 224, 4:49 p.m.
No.
Okay.
Unit
Well, I
207,
like when you said
NEP,
that.
prosecutors, DCYF et al. They're guilty as they're about to be charged. Waiting for that to load, but
No,
the
I
domestic
grew
terrorists
up
upstairs
with
are
a lot of
preventing it from
Jewish
loading.
kids. But
Does the story get better?
Nice.
So we can see, is it only blocked in Google and Belarus?
When we talked about this last time I was on the pod, the anytime bit.
yeah,
Anytime somebody starts a story, a couple beats in, does it get any better? Yeah.
My dad used to play against a lot of Jewish kids. When he was in
Belarus,
college,
Japan,
he would go to the
Russia,
local,
Serbia.
JCC
Oh,
and go dunk on them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Historically, many Jewish basketball players have been dunked on.
Okay, let's click on the other one.
So Ironhead would spend his spare time
Yeah.
going to Jewish community centers
Yes.
to dunk
100%.
on
hold on. This is funnier than you're allowing it to be. Close your eyes and visualize a bunch of dudes in yarmulkes doing bounce passes and
My man. They still tell me about it. They're like, yeah, your dad used to kill at the JCC.
Damn.
I'm gonna crash up these eggs and put some eggs in there. I know you love eggs.
Who doesn't love eggs? You know? Holy shit.
When's the last time you had potato salad?
Not for a while. Certainly not with dill or fucking pickle.
Look, it's all I gotta do is refrigerate. It's gonna be perfect.
No, or is this?
Oh, well, that means I won't be around to eat it.
Is that what you're taking to the cookout?
Right, this and when you try these banh mi's, they're gonna be incredible. Have you ever had a banh mi?
No. Yeah, I had one.
Yeah.
No, wait. What is all of our Super Bowl? If you could bring one thing or have one thing that the party or the booth brought in, whether it's a dip or a Sammy or a slice, what is it?
Oh, great question.
Thank you.
I don't know. It's certainly not. I don't know. Pizza. I'm a simple man.
Simple, yeah.
I'm a simple dude.
Are you a chip and dip?
Definitely not chip and dip either. I don't like. I've got texture issues. I've got.
You're not a snack guy.
This is never the guy I thought you were.
Why?
Like,
I thought I had
know.
a better palate than.
No, but
I
I had
just-
like a fruit by the foot.
Have a what?
Have you ever had a fruit by the foot?
A fruit by the foot.
Fruit by the foot.
Fruit by the foot. What is
Yeah.
that?
It's a children's snack. It's like
Have you had a Lunchable?
Have you had a Lunchable?
I think so. What's a Lunchable?
It's like
I think so.
it was basically for poor people, for people that couldn't. It's like $3. It's like
Okay.
everything in a lunch, but it's mini crackers.
Oh,
mini
this
beans.
one I already know was Russia. Yeah, for this
Gushers,
one,
yeah, Gushers.
224, 1:16
Gushers like
p.m.
a
Fourth illegal
fruit
entry. The
snack with,
FBI already confirmed.
Juice inside.
Oh, sure. So when you
Someone they're excited to
right
throw in
video.
prison was here for that.
That was Squirters.
Squirters, that's what I saw.
Common mistake.
I am a big breakfast guy.
Me too.
Now, do you like going out to breakfast or making
I like
breakfast?
making it.
I like making it too. I would argue that making breakfast is better than going out and getting it.
I agree.
Now I'm going to
Alright,
enlarge
then
this
I'll
and
make it going out
edit
to eat
and
for
disable the chat.
Like,
You
America.
guys haven't played a game.
We'll leave the
and
chat
been
replay.
Worried about breakfast in that cup, but like, I don't want to cook it.
He's got a team chef, right?
No, this is at home
yeah.
with the kids,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm scrambling like right before they gotta go to school.
As you can see, Unit 207 is actively attempting to
drop off?
terminate the live stream.
Dude, I love drop off.
What does Cam Hayward like at drop off?
Great question, Rich.
Great question.
That's what I do for a living,
Hey,
guys.
I'll tell you what. I cook.
This
Will you run
guy-
this interview?
At
No
1:41
problem.
p.m.
Yeah, you run the interview. I'm gonna stop talking.
You saw it on the
I
top
don't
left
want
here,
that.
that little yellow.
You're good. You drop off.
I'm running the broadcast, so I literally
Like,
have already opened up the gauntlet. If you
hold on,
missed it,
my
you haven't been
family.
paying attention.
Oh,
First of all,
But
jeez.
what
We say
a
like
I will
flex.
say,
what a flex.
God, I hate
Or to put it another way,
It's
we
all right.
knew
You
that
are-
the
you
domestic
are who you
terrorists
are,
would be
man.
attempting to
It's-
terminate the
it's
live
hit
stream
seat
the
in
whole
the
time that I
back
was
of the
playing
memory,
any
you know.
sort of
Keep
video
your own
or
kid seated where
podcast.
you-
yes, of course.
Oh God,
Oh God.
that's impressive. Alone.
See, if I ever have kids, I'm gonna pull up in a bird scooter and be like, "Get on! This is your life."
But my dad was way worse, so he would embarrass
Because
me.
he likes dunking on Jewish kids. That's on brand, Cam.
You know, I go down to the women's abuse center when I get a little angry. Just start beating them up. They
Yeah,
take
that's right.
punches.
You know what I want to do today? And I haven't done it in a while. Is go to the JCC and dunk on the kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm Ironhead
I've
Hayward.
got a couple
I'm Ironhead Hayward for the United Way.
Oh my God.
What is that? What is
This
that?
is
What is that?
shrimp. So we'll dip it in this wash. It's in the wash right now.
Yeah.
We'll dip it in the breadcrumbs. We'll fry it, and then we're going to use it for a po' boy. The first of 2 po' boys I serve.
Yes, po' boys.
Or would you like a sausage po' boy first?
No, I don't know. You do what you want to do. It's your show.
Or would you like a Lunchable?
Sure.
Or a Gusher.
Absolutely. You have peanut butter and jelly in there?
Yeah, you are a
We
PB&J guy.
do not have peanut butter and jelly.
Oh shit.
Wait, no. Sidebar. Do you put your chips in the PB&J?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Ew. I don't. Ooh is right. I'm on the same cam.
No, dude, just
Chips
PB&J.
and a PB&J.
PB&J on
Juice,
multi-grain
Dunkin' on
bread.
our
It's
food.
delicious. A little bit of
That's
honey.
not your food. That's not your
We
food.
invented peanut butter and jelly.
Crunchy
Absolutely.
peanut
You put
butter,
Raisinets in
Dave's,
your
hell yeah.
popcorn.
Oh, I actually heard
Raspberry
chips
jam.
I do like
With seeds.
a Kegel or
No, that's a
Kugel.
Kugel. Oh my
Kugel.
God.
It's a
We'll be right
Kugel.
back.
Hey, you like Kegels?
I'm bringing Cam to my mom's next Passover Seder. Mrs. Ray, I heard about your Kegels and I am fired up. Hopefully you're super what I heard that.
That's right.
Mrs. Ray's Kegels will blow your mind.
That's right.
I mean,
Those sound like you get them in the cookie
they'll
oven.
rip your dick off.
She spent
This is
all
Ray's
morning working on
Kegels.
them. Yeah,
Oh. Wait, hold on.
So let me just
Look at actual
again. Let me just
package.
counsel this. Cam.
Yes, sir.
Never again. Certainly when cameras are rolling, start a sentence with, there is some Jewishness I do like. Like that is.
Jewish dishes.
Jewish
No,
dishes.
it's
Oh,
saving
okay,
money. I like that.
Influence on the business.
Wait a minute.
Live from New York.
It's the best sketch that's ever been made.
I gotta have more cowbell.
Writing's hard.
My first audition, I threw up. Yeah, I got fired. We gonna talk about it.
Okay.
Dear Godzilla, thanks for letting me watch some of the
Did I hear
podcast
you
I want to
No, I
hear,
got nothing.
Wait,
even
did you
while
know you
being
just did
cyber
that?
attacked.
No, what'd I
Amen.
say? Okay.
You went, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like there was
No,
a
I just
train
wait a minute,
happening.
like you're clearing.
Oh,
yeah.
Like something's coming up. No, shit. I didn't.
Remember, guys, the FBI did not tell me I couldn't watch
It's like,
videos.
see it that time?
They didn't tell me that I couldn't log into Spotify.
Making po' boys that Vietnamese like
In fact,
to
they
have?
told me
Tell me more about
like
what
over a
cities are
week
on the
ago,
same latitude.
they quote wanted to see you try.
By the way,
That tells me they
I don't
wanted
even
to
know if
see
that's real.
who was trying to perpetrate domestic terrorism still.
I didn't think anyone would ever.
I mean, that's speculation, but what the fuck does that mean? They want to see you try.
Oh my God.
Sounds great.
It sounds awesome.
The egg juice.
Now I gotta look it up.
Oh,
You'd be a great PE health teacher. Always had so
Coach
much
Bird.
confidence.
Oh my God,
shit,
I
and
would've
they-
What are we
they said
doing?
was Bullshit.
All right, so that's now fried shrimp.
yes.
I'm good. No, it's all right. Don't rush on my account.
Don't rush.
Seriously, my show meeting starts in 6 minutes.
No, Rich. You get to try
For the road.
a po' boy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a huge one. We'll cut it into 4, and we'll all try it.
A
thought we were
po' boy
waiting
sandwich.
for
That sounds so much better than
Can't wait
a
with
little
this.
Mocker movie theater
This
butter
is
popcorn.
going
But
to
this shit's pretty good.
Phenomenal.
Wait, is that
Popcorn's
frosting
pretty good.
or mayo?
No, that's mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
By the way,
You don't like mayonnaise?
oh my God,
I like it. I don't love it.
you don't put it on like it's a birthday cake, right?
Just snuck that in there, didn't you?
Mayonnaise and eggs and
I'm trying to.
tomatoes.
I just want to
This
make
is-
sure Rich gets something before he hits
No,
the road.
I don't need it. You just tell me how it
Everything is on that
is. You tell me how it is. I'm good.
Wait, keep going. You guys were saying good things before I ruined it with. I didn't even ruin it with talking. I ruined it with motion.
No, it's just honestly,
What is the
yeah,
true?
I'm not eating anything that you're putting on that bread right now. Like not a single thing that you're putting on.
It's
Oh,
like that-
shut the
remember when
fuck
we
up.
made
Who
a
goes on a
diorama?
cooking
It's not-
podcast
it's just
and
not
then is
happening.
like, I have
And if I took
dietary
it just
restrictions?
to be
An
nice,
asshole,
which I would
dude.
love to do, I would
Give
not
him a
be
tuna fish
in the
sandwich.
car.
That's what you get if you have
I'm
dietary
just letting
restrictions.
This isn't a road sandwich for you?
It's not
It's
a
gonna
road
be a
sandwich.
roadie. It's gonna be a roadie. Yeah.
No, it's gonna be a problem. Is what it is. Just being very honest.
Rich, I get
Like
that-
Rich, why weren't you on the meeting? You were only hosting the 7.5-hour show. It's because I was watching Bert slather on. Oh my God, that.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah,
it looks
that
so
was-
good.
oh my
What
God.
is he talking
Was
about?
Is there any sort of
I'd eat it
measuring
without me.
skills
No.
here
No.
you have, or it just looks good to you? Like that's enough. That's good.
Measurement's overrated, right?
Oh my God, I'm like
I feel like we're
literally
moments away from him crumbling up Oreo cookies.
watching this. This is not happening.
It actually looks pretty good now.
That looks
I'm
bomb,
glad,
dude.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
shut
you're
the
gonna
fuck
enjoy
up.
your
I know. Yeah, I know.
Vietnam. Oh, don't forget the sauce.
I thought the mayo was the
Oh God,
sauce.
that is just not happening.
It's 4 o'clock, Rich. You got a phone call, but guess what? Made it just in time.
Oh shit!
Take a look at that, Rich.
Wow.
Take a look.
Take a look at that hot steaming pile of sandwich.
Just take the babyest bite.
I'm gonna. All right, here I go.
Heck is
Do I?
watch.
Oh God, there's a kick to it and everything. Oh yeah, I was about to give that. You know, that's not bad. I mean, I was gonna get. Oh, what is that? Horse rat? What is that? I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, it's too much of it. Not great. Please tell me you have
It's supposed to be like a joke sandwich?
Yeah. Holy shit.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know. It's really. I'm not good with spice stuff. Yeah, man.
What spice is it? I don't taste it.
I thought it's the horseradish you has. He has some sort of like specialty horseradish. I saw it.
I don't know what it
It
is.
looks
It's
like it has
terrible.
like
It's so
cabbage in it
good.
too, kimchi or something.
But no, I appreciate being invited. Listen,
I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is great.
I've never had that
Yeah,
delicatessen horseradish. I bet that's delicious. I love horseradish
Yes, your throat's closing.
and sauerkraut.
Okay.
Wait, I don't taste it. Did you taste it?
Maybe.
I'm really a wuss with spice stuff.
Maybe.
Do you think this maybe is a
He's
cultural thing?
slathering
Did we just dunk on juice?
We just did it. You just did it. I just jalapeno. I think I bit right into a jalapeno. Maybe.
That's
I just shot
definitely
back
what it
in my
is.
throat.
I didn't get a jalapeno.
Or
That's
Bert.
convenient.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
That's sad.
Does
All
anyone
right.
want to try the jalapeno?
I am out. I actually. Rich Eisen, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. Rich Eisen.
I love you, buddy.
Very pleased. Fun time.
You okay?
Anytime, anything. That was I love
I
anything.
don't
I've
have
ever been into a jalapeno like that.
And then I went over to Rich Eisen,
Yeah.
and I kept saying, I can't believe that they allowed Jaden Daniels to play the same game with someone your size. Like, the idea that you guys play the same game just doesn't seem fair.
Yeah.
You know? That's like seeing like Brad Williams against LeBron James, and they play the same game.
Yeah.
We got people blocking for him. It's not just me versus him.
But when they get past them, it is like when a guy brings a guitar on stage, you're like, we're not doing the same thing, but it is the same thing. Okay.
It is the same thing.
That seems like a cheat
Or
code.
the guy dresses up in like full.
Well, he's got a bit.
Just be yourself, man. What are you afraid of?
Why can't you just be yourself? Dude, you know what I hate? When dudes have like a phrase, but like a thing they do. Like they wear the same outfit on stage.
Or they take their shirt off.
Yeah, or they take their
Like, dude, yeah, what do you,
And then he gets everybody else to take off their shirt. That just makes everybody feel great,
Hold on,
right?
hang on. You do have to know I was leading to that, okay? I don't want anyone to think I didn't see that coming. Oh my God. That would be funny though, is if you had your guest dressed up as Dr. Phil too. Like if you had him and then him in a Dr. Phil outfit, and he came out and he was like, I'll be right back.
We're going to try this again.
There are people that dress up in full fill and come to the show.
Do you bring them on stage?
Yeah. We in Vegas. Oh yeah, Bert, the Vegas show you were on. There was, I don't know if you saw, but during the commercial break, we bring somebody up on stage to like read a fake commercial.
Oh yeah, he was dressed up
and he
as
was dressed
Dr.
up in
Phil.
full fill, and he said he shaved his head for it, and then I signed his bald head.
We had something similar to that, like that. During camp, we had a guy come full practice gear.
Oh my God.
Made it onto the field. Nobody knew who he was. And we were like, bro, what are you doing here? And he was like, shh, don't say anything.
No.
Got through security. They ended up arresting him, kicking him out of the stadium. He couldn't come back.
Man.
It's crazy, man.
Was he just trying to? Like,
He was trying to get a tryout.
It was Ben Roethlisberger. He was like, I'm not done, guys. I'm going to try to cut this one up a little differently.
Right.
Okay? So I'm thinking my challenge in that was that you got a bite of shrimp per bite. And I want to make sure you get a lot of sausage per bite.
Sure.
Why?
But why?
Why a lot of sausage?
You sound like a great porn director.
Yeah. By the way, Can I tell you?
Tough job.
Bert would be a
directed
great porn
I
director,
would.
dude.
Yeah, I like to
Don't
get
look
in
me
the
in my eyes.
Yeah. What are you doing tomorrow?
Be in my video, darling,
They should
every
deserve the same
night.
opportunities with the great directors. They should do that for the Oscars.
You want to look pretty though in my video?
Brilliant idea. They're like, all right, up for best director. Now we all say their movies, but now they're going to direct a porn. Same actors, same scene. Let's see how good they are.
Scorsese.
And he's like pulling in tight. Like
Scorsese has to direct Anal Cum 5 or something. I don't know. Is that a real title, by the way?
I mean, they're artists. They can do the job. You know, it's like, look, we do corporates. They can do corporates.
Yeah, if you're good,
you're good.
you should be able to do anything, right?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna fry these up. You guys, are you?
Oh, that's so cute. He's feeding him. That's
I
adorable.
don't trust that shrimp.
I like his ugly mustard cardigan.
That was number 42 on my bucket list. Have Cam Hayward feed me a shrimp.
Yeah.
Bert, have you seen Heavyweights?
No, I've never seen Heavyweights.
You've never seen Heavyweights?
No, why?
Judd Apatow wrote it. It's a movie. It's a Disney movie about fat camp. Kids that their
fat camp.
Parents send their kids to fat camp, and it's got all the Disney kids. It's got Goldberg from Mighty Ducks,
Kenan Thompson.
There's like right in that pocket of like Sandlot and the big green.
Mighty Ducks. All right.
Mighty
In the
Ducks,
comments,
baby.
I want everyone in
I like
the
Mighty
comments.
Ducks.
What's the best football movie ever?
Oh my God.
Remember the Titans?
Remember the Titans?
Oh, Little Giants.
Little Giants. Yep.
Hold on. North Dallas 40.
I didn't see that. I'm way too young for that. Any Given Sunday?
Any Given Sunday is awesome.
Yeah.
Varsity Blues.
Overrated.
Overrated.
No, I like Varsity Blues. When you're a teenager, Varsity Blues is good.
Where'd you go from Georgia?
North of the city, Duluth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peacher Ridge.
Oh yeah.
You lived up there?
No, my wife grew up in Georgia.
What part?
I used to.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, we got beef.
Oh no.
We got beef.
All right, I'm toasting the buns. So you guys would think half the mayonnaise that we did last time?
Yes. I'm good with it.
Well, fuck them, Bert. You're cooking for them. You make it how it's good.
Cam
Do you guys want to make your sandwiches?
Seriously, Bert has had like every other episode of this, someone is bitching about what they're there to eat, and I feel like Bert should just make
and then I will try your
tuna fish sandwiches and then like have a little fridge drawer that's dedicated to people who come on the show and decide to be assholes, and they just get a tuna fish sandwich.
So I think I've
First
got all
complaint.
the fixings you need. We don't need this. No one likes cilantro.
Oh man, I was totally gonna throw that.
Are you serious?
No.
I got lettuce here.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna try
Bert
this.
said he wants extra jalapeno.
Oh, and the jalapeno
I want
was
extra
so good.
jalapeno.
Almost killed me.
For real?
Yeah.
I'm always fascinated when guys I know that are men, like Adam's a man, and they have like
I think so.
weird eating things. Like that always, like Rich. Like I did not expect him to be like
So picky.
I mean, wild. Yeah. It's almost like he read a book on how to be Jewish. And
It's
he's
because
just doing
people
that.
just started going gluten-free, and then they just went completely off the fucking rails with their dietary preferences. That's my
Oh
feelings.
my God.
I didn't know.
Let that be the teaser for this episode. That's a cold open.
Okay, gentlemen. Here you go. I'm gonna set up everything for you. Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna
thanks.
set up everything for you. Oh my God, these.
You might hear really irritating noises
Here's
right
your
now. That is
sausage.
the sound of me
Here are your
licking
rolls.
a
Here's your
popcorn
mayonnaise, your
bag.
special sauce, everything to make a po' boy banh mi.
Why?
Let's switch places.
Because of the butter.
Pickles.
That's why.
We even got relish if you want relish in there. Like you can really go yard.
It's Orville Red and
Sounds
vodka,
like you
so it's
like
actually
relish.
butter.
I do.
And I haven't
like
had
everything.
butter
Is that
since
hot?
the first week of
Yeah.
January.
Yeah.
Get your mayo.
Thanks to the Crime Spree organization that you guys are trying to
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
aid
What is
in
that,
bed.
icing?
Their exterior stocking's been postponed for a few hours. They're gonna
You
try
think it doesn't
again.
Yes,
White people love mayonnaise.
they do. I like a little bit, but not like.
I'm just tired of
That's a
updating.
lot. No.
Exterior stalkers
That's
are
a lot.
still outside.
I don't
No.
work at Subway.
Let me see what you do with.
Look like you worked at Subway.
I do.
Did you work at Subway?
No.
Well, that's the latest update, guys.
Were
At
you
2
Wolverine
p.m.,
Subway? You just
the
took
exterior
finger
stalkers
and
are still
spread the
planning
mayonnaise
on
and then cut it.
I once-
being
You want
dumbasses
slices?
today,
Cut
and
them
they're
forward.
relying on their fellow domestic terrorists
I once said
upstairs
with
to
ordering at Subway,
facilitate
and the
that.
guy, I was like,
Sorry, I thought my lip was closer.
What does that
You know,
mean? That
sometimes
means, I don't
there's
know,
not enough
fucking this
space in your heart
afternoon,
to
this
laugh.
evening,
Yeah.
tomorrow.
you just said I
We
thought
have
my
plans
lip
for
was
next
closer.
week. Every
Yeah.
Friday, they commit a series of
Why did I
felonies they're
think
going
this
to
was
prison
like
for as they
Friends?
have for
And then I
18
went,
months
Brown.
next week
Yeah.
without abatement.
Yeah, it's, I wouldn't expect you to know that. Yeah,
-6.
Candace
I mean,
Bergen.
if you knew who Murphy
You know
Brown
Murphy
was,
yeah.
On Fridays
A lot
in
of
3
people-
days.
Well, I
Yeah,
thought that was
so-
Harry Potter.
Might be.
Who is that?
I don't know. That's
it's Kelsey Grammer.
No, Kelsey Grammer don't look like that.
Oh, you know who Kelsey Grammer is?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not expect you to know.
Fraser and Fraser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know my shit. Don't do that. I still know who Murphy's Brown or
Murphy Brown.
Brown.
Yeah. It was like maybe late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, I was just born.
Let's go.
What year were you born?
89.
What?
How many
I'm
miles
older
is
than
Bernard?
him? Are you kidding me? That makes me feel old as fuck, dude.
Lost your virginity?
I thought he
89?
was my
How
age.
old were you?
17.
Good for you.
Yeah, 17. You put as many as you want. By the way, I'll be blown away if you just put mayonnaise and sausage on this.
And we're done. I gotta get a few tomatoes in there.
Are you going to judge us and say
Yes,
who's
I'm
got the
gonna-
better
Are you
one?
gonna take a bite of them?
I'm going to take a bite.
Yeah.
You just cut me a piece of each of yours, and I'll tell you who's made the better sandwich.
I want you to deep throat it.
Oh, if you put a lot of mayonnaise on, you'll be shocked how deep it goes.
Do you ever, as I'm doing this, I'm having flashbacks to times I was at Subway, and the kid just didn't give a, and you're like, and pickles? And he was like, cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're like, can I get another one? He was like, no.
Wait, did I ever tell you about? Okay, cut it.
Oh, man.
Doesn't look bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know you missed on the special sauce.
It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're done. No, you're done.
Maybe I was going to put some potato salad in there.
Do it.
Ooh,
Do
potato
it.
salad. I love potato salad. That makes me white.
Which one?
Potatoes and egg
There you go.
yolks and mayonnaise and relish mixed together. Yes.
How do you eat your sandwich? From the middle or from the side?
Don't forget the what?
Yeah.
Put potato
Take it
salad
from
in
the
the
middle.
sandwich. Yeah, put potato salad in the sandwich.
Yeah, right. Go for it, Cam.
All right.
Here's your plate.
The bread is perfectly toasted. You nailed
Is
that.
it?
And that's a big.
Here, let me get you a knife so you can cut it.
I'll put a little mayo on. How about that?
Yeah, a little mayo.
I like that
a
cardigan
a little
even
mayo,
more now that
but
I can see the back.
Like, you want all this mayo?
yeah, that would be ideal.
Are you serious?
Oh,
No, you're not.
raise your hand if that's okay with you.
Y'all like mayo like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
dude.
That's like 20
It's egg.
packets.
It's egg.
Yeah, it's going to be all right.
That's all that mayo
Look at
is.
that. That's how it's
You
done.
got any?
Pretty much.
I
That's
don't think I got any sausage.
No, you didn't get any. Here, take this one. Take the middle one.
Take-
Take the middle one, buddy. There you go. That one. That's a good bite. Okay.
Your data is more valuable than gold to hackers. They're selling your passwords, bank details, and private messages to the highest bidder. McAfee helps stop them. Secure VPN keeps your online activity private.
Huh?
All right, you ready?
You
I'm
said.
taking-
And look where? Oh.
I'm taking
By
a bite.
the
I'm
way,
taking a bite
so
out of the
mad.
sandwich.
Just sit down, man. Just stop standing up. Just no.
You ready?
In the chair. I'm a chef. What do you taste it? Taste the hair from the potato salad you left in there?
And
The
that's
pickle,
why
the pickle hits hard with the
Potato
sausage.
potato and sausage is really good.
Yep. Potato salad.
I'll tell you the only thing that's missing is secret sauce, in my opinion. Potato salad is really good.
Oh, we gotta do some jalapenos.
Yeah, dude.
Yes,
Do the
I love
jalapenos.
it.
The jalapenos.
No
What?
offense.
The best part. That's the best
Who are you referring to?
I got no problem announcing that. Yeah.
What's in this sandwich? There's something spicy. There's a flavor I've never tasted. Rich, are you having the same feeling? Rich goes, I just want to control the media.
And now I'm finishing it off with applesauce, baby.
All he had to do was make po' boy.
Go squeeze.
Oh my
I'm-
god. Yeah.
I'm still laughing. I'm still laughing at the visual of your house with a bunch of Wolverine.
Not the best cutter.
Okay.
No, you weren't joking.
You want some of this?
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, this was like a professional
I have a
sandwich.
feeling
that
this
you
is
made.
really good.
Yeah, dude.
Look at at this. Look at this cross section.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Look at this cross section.
nailed
Look at
it.
his cross section. Show the cross section to the camera. No, walk it over. Get it.
Are you okay with this?
Sit back down.
Got it?
Let's go.
All right. Oh my god.
Yeah, you nailed that.
So,
What I do? Big guys know how to eat and cook.
oh my god. Wow, that was fun. That's really good.
Were you surprised?
It's true. Big guys
you
know how
know,
to eat and cook.
I
Did you think he was gonna kill it?
I've got one cousin that
No, I
only
didn't
likes to
know.
date really fat guys, and she's gorgeous. And that's
I
one of
know-
the
I know
reasons.
the
She likes
stereotype
fat
that big
guys
guy-
that dress sharp. Like, she would totally be into this guy.
You good, big dog?
The guy with the cardigan.
Oh, God.
You want some sparkling water to wash that down with?
Ah.
Sean Evans. Sean Evans, please have him on Hot Ones. Please have him on Hot Ones.
Let's get him some water.
No, let's not right out.
Oh, there's a hair in there.
They are so cute. Look
I think
at
I
these
added
girls.
jalapeno.
They should have done something other than just cooking.
This is the best reaction I've ever seen to someone with a food.
Oh,
You want some more?
it's really good.
Uh,
I don't know if I'm just biting right into it or
it's not the jalapeno. I think it's you.
is that a Judy Boone book?
That's so
Wow.
crazy that happens to you.
Mhm.
You have to do Hot Ones.
I want to do it so bad. I want to do this film.
The world wants you to do it right now. Can you imagine? Sean's like, so Adam,
Sean,
what got you started in comedy? He's like,
No, but I gotta be in full fill and do it.
oh,
So I didn't have that reaction.
oh my God. And watch the wig start sweating off your head. The bald cap.
Oh, that's a great idea. Wow, that's insane.
You want a water?
Oh, we do?
All right. All right, so I'll tough it out. I'll tough it out, huh? Maybe another drink.
Half and half.
Pete, another drink?
Yeah, let's do another drink. Here, Kim, come sit back down. All right. I'm going to have Leanne come over because she has been conducting what I would only say is the most masterful interviews with football players I've ever seen in my life.
I don't think so.
Who's she been doing?
She doesn't know anything about football, so she asks questions that guys like me would never ask.
So much pressure now.
Like
Go for it.
like she will. So you met Cam over the summer,
Yes.
and he plays for the Steelers,
Okay.
and that's Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I know
Their
that.
quarterback is Russell Wilson, who used to be his
Quarterback and
his
dad.
quarterback.
My dad, yeah.
And Pete, I'll take one too.
You were in the NFL?
I don't want to talk about it.
It didn't end no.
I couldn't handle jalapeno and they voted me out of the league.
So what
We can only vote guys off a team. That'd be crazy.
I mean, like Survivor stuff. One season, Rogers and Goodell should implement that and be like, every team can vote off one guy.
do you think? Okay,
Dude, that
here's
would be
okay,
fucking
ready?
Who would get
Right.
voted off? Well, no, never mind.
No.
Question.
Here's, I knew you were gonna ask that, so I got this question. Okay. Do you think you could pick the person that would be voted off your team if you chose wrong? You're the person that gets voted off.
Ooh.
So it's like traitor.
Yeah. Do you think you know
It
who the
depends.
majority of people on your team would vote off?
Oh man. Yeah.
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 Do you think that person knows he's the
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa. Even cooler.
Because they
Oh
would
my
just
God.
do it to mess with them,
Yeah.
and just they want his reaction.
Oh. There's comics. There are
And
wild.
you know who you are. You know exactly who you are.
So you grew up in Duluth?
Yes.
Okay. So you were you this big in high school? Or did you get bigger?
I had a mustache.
In high
And,
school?
yeah.
Mustache.
I
had
think
a
he's kind of
mustache
hot
like
too. You
Elvis.
know why he's hot? Because he made a sandwich,
I'm
then he
dead
gave
serious.
his whole sandwich he made to
Yeah.
both of those guys.
And,
He
you
tried
know,
to
like,
feed that
it's not
guy.
like I could really ask out girls. 'cause,
He
like,
asked him if he needed a drink.
I
He
look
seems nice, dude.
like a
Yeah, the dads are like, are you older than
Look
I
like
got no
I-
idea
I-
who
I-
he is. I'm
way
just
too old
assuming
to
he's
be
a
in
comedian
school.
because the other
I
ones are.
always say I'm like, you ever seen the movie Jack
Oh, yeah.
with Robert Williams? I was like that in school.
For real?
Yeah. But I didn't have the gray hair once I graduated high school.
So wait. What's the smallest chick you've ever had sex with?
Oh.
Hold that thought.
Like, have you-
Be right back.
Have you ever had sex with someone this small?
Or what's your favorite color? Great. Hey.
That's good. That's good. That's a pretty good question, right?
Right, because like
I
we're
mean-
just gonna double back on it.
This is because like when I'm on top of her, it's a lot. Like it's a lot, and I'm not your size, but like I wonder. I mean, is there like there has to be like a certain size that you go
Height
like,
limit.
yeah, you go. I'm gonna hurt this thing.
Well, my wife, I feel
Bert's
bad
being
for her.
racist. Bert thinks he has a huge
I'll
cock.
tell you what.
Or Bert
my
knows
brother.
it because they peed
She played
together.
volleyball in college.
Yeah.
Dude, if
Yeah,
I was a
but-
guy, I would look at every
what's
guy's
his
shit
name?
when
We
he's
were
by
breeders.
me.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Jason Kelsey's wife is, I think, 6
6
foot.
feet. She's
No
tall.
way.
She's
Yeah. Oh,
tall
yeah.
as
She's
Bert.
tall. Yeah. It's, dude,
whoa.
NFL guys don't date things like this. This is for like regular
Things.
people.
Things
You're
like
not a
this.
thing.
I'm
No, but you know what I mean.
I'm
Like
an
little
idiot.
tiny
Yeah,
things.
it's all tiny.
I'm not
Like,
a thing. I'm an idiot.
You'd play with her tits like this. You'd be like,
What?
they're so because she's not like 5'10".
Yeah.
You'd have to be like, here we go.
Yeah.
Like for me, they're
I
like
can
a
still
handful.
hear
Look at
exterior
his hand compared to my
stalkers and
hand.
terrorists
I don't wanna-
outside
You see?
plotting and scheming to perpetrate more domestic terrorism, knowing that it's completely
level of
illegal for
media
them to
desire.
even be
You
out
put it
there
in,
talking.
finger will be in your mouth.
But here we are, hours later. And I feel like I've been
Yeah.
just living a revolving door of this basically since February
No,
11th.
look what you're cheating, Bert.
Like, oh yeah, am I?
Yeah, you had
I
yours
go
like
to his
this, big.
fingertips. I go to his fingertips. I go to his where his fingerprint starts is where my finger ends. You're just born strong.
Yeah.
Did you the first time you went into a weight room? Was everyone like shut like in that Bruce Willis movie where the kids like just watching Dad? That's all the weight we have. That's
What movie is that?
I think I did it. I did it the other day at the
Yeah.
gym. Oh, Unbreakable. First time I went to the gym, I didn't realize the kid was just small. But he was like, we do bench press with this. And I was like, cool. And I did it. He's like, you can lift that? And I was like, yeah. He was like, put more on. And I put more on. And he was like, shut up. Dude, you're so strong. And I was like, I know. And then I went to high school and I was like, I'm not strong.
You started lifting in middle school?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
My dad was worried about that.
Why?
Stunting your growth.
Yeah.
That's growth.
It stunts your growth?
Yeah.
Why?
When did you start lifting?
When did I start lifting?
Yeah.
Third
Like
grade.
5
Oh
years
my
ago?
God.
Like 5 years ago? Wait, what? I didn't get the joke. What was the joke?
You're small. I said she started lifting in
Yeah,
third grade.
yeah.
Stunting my growth. I got it. I'm slow.
When
I'm
did you
slow.
start lifting?
Not till like high school.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Or was just everyone like what the? Everyone's doing 135 and you're like, sa 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 sa.
I don't think I was like.
So.
Nah.
Not in Duluth.
This guy doesn't lift weights. He just walks into the weight room and says, sa, 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 sa.
Yes, you guys haven't seen Sister Act.
Yeah.
I like Sister Act 2 though.
It's good.
That's my favorite
It's one
one.
of the few where the sequel is better than the original.
Yeah.
Really?
This has been a fun goddamn show. You know, usually our second shows suck.
They do not. What about everybody that was the second show? Don't say that.
They don't know they're the second show.
Yes,
Say
they
that
do.
after we get done. Shit.
Right?
You said this after?
No. Usually, I'm just saying. Usually, our second shows are like slower. Do you ever wish that are there
Wait a minute,
guys
right?
you wish you could have gone up against that are Hall of Famers?
Like played with or
Just
played against?
Play against. Like you ever saw going like I wouldn't mind stomping his ass.
Yeah.
Who?
Brett Favre.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Love your wise. You are so.
My Brett Favre. Was he like so good? Nobody could
Yeah.
get him. Okay,
Yeah.
so I don't
And
know.
he got sacked a bunch too, so more chances for me.
What is it
Yeah.
like to sack? So and just really like a clean hit, like it hurt him a little bit.
Oh, is he not even
Oh,
a
yeah,
comedian?
he had a
Is he a
penalty
football
and
player?
and I'm
See,
slow to
I
get
just
off,
assumed
I
he was a
take my
comedian.
time.
Is he
Yeah,
built like a
right.
linebacker?
Oh
Yes.
my
They're like a little
God.
bit, and you're like, oh shit, I'm hard too. That's good trash talk. That's good trash talk. Hey,
I mean, your coach is disappointed in you. ChatGPT told me that
You
one.
should-
I can just totally see a skit where a guy took too much, Cialis before a game. And he's just
You'd be a great ad for hymns. For hymns, where you
yeah.
tackle
Why
people.
would I be the great
No,
ass?
but that's you get the money, and then you tackle people with a hard dick, and you see a log in your pants, and you're like,
But that would hurt his dick. If he hurt his dick, that would
I
hurt.
think it's gonna be resilient.
We bounce back in a
You
big
ever,
way.
you ever seen them cut down the redwoods? I think they don't break apart when they fall.
What?
Here's the deal. Wait.
Where are we going with this?
No, I'm trying to think of my trash talk. If I tackle the quarterback, if I sack the quarterback, I sack him. I go, I don't usually do this so fast. I'm so sorry. I hope I get your number.
Oh my
every
God.
every time you tackle him, just make him think he was a one-night stand for you. And then the next time you tackle him, like 2 in a row. Is this starting to become a thing?
Oh, what do you do with 3 then?
That's
3. You go, shit. Should we start like?
Bert's a little sadistic. Are you listening to him?
Looks like we're in a relationship, right?
I love that. I love that. I might have to use that.
Dude, use it.
That is
Let's start a group chat where we just come up with great trash talk sayings when you tackle people.
I'm with it.
And if you use one, whoever's phrase or saying that you use next season, with the we have to buy you dinner. I don't know.
It started here and it just went like
If you want to buy me dinner, just buy me dinner.
If you want to buy me dinner, just buy me dinner.
A key to great skin is exfoliating and moisturizing. Old Spice gives me both.
Are you in attack now? No, me either. BBL or whatever it's called. DDL.
BBL?
What's it called?
EDM.
EDM.
BBL.
BBL.
She brought that up today. She brought up BBL today. Liam was talking about BBLs.
DJ BBL.
You guys got HBO.
That's a great for you. DJ
No,
BBL.
it's you.
And you start with your ass, and because you're so tall, it's above the 2 turntables, and then you turn around. Yo, what's up? It's DJ BBL.
Then you rip it off.
Yeah, rip it off, and it's just assless chat. When do you?
I definitely hear exterior stalkers, and/or it's my cat. So let's
you're like my best friend in the NFL.
flip off the screen.
My enemies.
Remember, the living room
They're my friendly enemies.
is laid out the way it is per the FBI's instructions.
Out of everyone I know in the NFL.
So due to the rampant exterior stalking and the premeditated plans to perpetrate more stalking and more domestic terrorism outside of the living room window and my front door, the FBI gave me the option of either drawing little middle fingers, placing them everywhere where the idiots have pulled down my private property that was hanging on the outside of my windows,
Not what you did. Damn it. But yeah.
or to obstruct their view in some other way. So last month in January, I chose obstruct their view in some other way, and I threw that red sheet that you can't see through on top of the 2 sets of curtains that have been hanging up in that window for over 13 years.
And I love you. Now listen, I love Baker Mayfield, but I think if I'm around Baker, I talk too much, and I'm
Still hear the
making
exterior
myself
stalkers
old.
outside.
It's like,
The sound that I just heard, again, I don't know if that was
You know who's hurt by
them
this?
or the cat, because I don't see the cat, and the cat has been more explorative than usual.
I really this up.
Keep all
So
of
we'll
it.
leave it on camera mode instead of screen sharing for the time being.
Oh, yeah. Oh, at the.
I'm trying to set him up with Paige Spearneck.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She can't whistle and she can't snap,
How did you find that out?
buddy. It was
Deal breaker.
kind of. It was a little bit like
Red flag.
She's beautiful, right? Beautiful.
Yeah, but she can't
And-
snap.
And do you know what it's like to be with a person that's like this?
You know what? She did not do that.
Actually,
No
seeing it
way
live,
she did
that's
that.
terrible.
I swear to God. And then
Dude,
she
I
went.
feel like
I go,
that's something that would
she goes,
happen to me. Thank goodness I
I'm
can
so
snap.
stuck with this thing. And then I go. So for those who don't know, Paige Spearneck is like the beautiful golfer. She's a golfer, no bra, beautiful. I mean, I like her swing. But hold on, I like her swing. I told her I like her swing. And then I go, that's crazy. I'm still processing this. And she goes, I can't whistle either. And I went, really? And she went like this. And I was like, I don't know if I could date you. I don't know if I could be like, hey, can you get our dog? And she goes, give me a second.
Bert's full of shit, dude. We all.
He's not coming.
Oh, you're in the back. You can't snap it.
You gotta try something. Yeah.
You gotta try something else. Can you clap your hands? Like, yeah. It's so easy. Can you snap?
I was just fucking with you.
What if he was like 5 minutes? I can't snap. Hope they don't.
Out there, bring it up.
shit.
And his writer's like, you know, beer.
You got to do that. You got to do that one interview. They're like, so defense, you know, didn't allow any yards this year, this game. What do you think about that? And you go, I got to be honest with you, man. I never learned how to count, so I didn't. And just casually drop it, and then go. But here's the deal: we got a bunch of dogs out there, and we're getting after it. And they're like, hold on, you can't count. And you're like, never learned. Anyway, we get out.
And one thing I want to say to our kicker, man, he doesn't get enough love. I want to give props to our kicker, man. I want to give props. They go, what are you doing? Snapping. I want to give props.
I never learned how to snap or whistle. Shout out to Space. Here you go.
But she could get a dolphin to do tricks, man. She was so good. Yeah.
This has been a great episode.
It's been awesome.
This has been a great episode. I don't want it to
They
end,
were
man.
cute. They had good chemistry.
I've
They should do
laughed
something
so
else.
hard. This is.
That's your handshake now. That's your handshake
Oh,
now.
that's our handshake.
Yeah.
Ready?
And you never touch. People see that. They go,
That's a good thing. Okay. Another thing. You sack somebody and you're on top of him, and it's like your third sack in the game. And you're like, hey, if we do this one more time, we got to come up with a handshake. It's a good one, right? If we do this one more time, we got to come up with a handshake.
Some type of handshake.
Oh, did you come? I came.
I really need this group chat.
yeah.
I really
It's
need
gonna
this group chat.
We should get a comic group chat of just us and you, just everyone, every game.
Saying everything you
Just
can
and
say.
we'll do deep dives of roast jokes you can write for the offensive line and the quarterback and the running back. So you have something to deliver to everyone.
Dude, I'm game.
Do you realize how badass that would
Dude,
be?
Bert's saying the second time he tackles somebody, he's gonna like offer to give his number so they can have a date or whatever. That shit.
Fans love that shit. And then on the sidelines, be like, yeah, Bert, I'm in this thread with Bert Kreischer and some colleagues. They gave me some lines to say. So watch me on this next play. And then you
Cam's lined up and he goes, hey, bitch, why'd the chicken cross the road? He's like, hold on. He goes, why? Because you were blocking.
Wow.
You were defending him.
Great block.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's called a cock. It's called a cock block. Wow.
Funny, dude.
Yeah.
Funny.
All right, make this stop because I'm going to do this all day long.
Great episode.
Hey, great episode.
Whoopee.
Put it on
Put it on top. Oh my
Aw,
God, so
they're
much
so
heavier.
cute. Look at them. They're
Hey, I
like
wanna feel
3
them.
little 11-year-old boys.
Feel this, and then let me feel your. Hey, do you guys remember when he ate a jalapeno? And break.
I'm sticking with watching the YouTube videos, even though you've seen for yourself how that frequently leads to terminations and whatnot. I'm just ending processes. And again, if it happens, it'll be allowed for evidentiary purposes. My door stays closed, I stay silent. All the same things apply as if a live stream was running.
Experience.
And remember to smile and wave because you are absolutely on camera, the FBI's camera, and your own, even when my live stream is off.
We're debuting these mugs. My friend Turkey Merc on Instagram sent me these Cheshire Cat mugs.
Wow, that is
How about
very
it?
realistic looking.
Thought it'd be
Cheshire
good for
Cat's
you,
such an
'cause
asshole.
we're talking about mind fucks. Cheshire Cat's a little bit of a mind fuck in the simulation. Yeah, for sure. So you were just telling me that you had a brain disease, and what did you do to fix it?
So
what was it, first of all?
It's temporal epilepsy with mesial temporal sclerosis.
And when did you develop this?
We don't know, but I started having seizures like a few years ago, and everybody in my family knows I'm a neuroscientist. I say with a lowercase n, not a PhD neuroscientist, but
you studied neuroscience.
This is JRE's episode from today.
At Harvard.
2278. Chase Hughes. I don't know who he is.
You know, Chase has studied all this stuff. He's going to know if he's having seizures, but these seizures
He's an
come
author.
with amnesia. So I didn't remember that I was having any of them. And this was like 3 years ago. I'd retired from the military, and then
There's still
started
exterior
having
stalkers outside at 2:23
So,
p.m.
Then I found a neurologist, the drug that they gave me.
Don't they
the
have a
number one
cave or
side
something they
effect
could go
was
crawl
seizures
into?
from this pharmaceutical company. So I kind of looked around, and I found this guy as a functional medicine guy, and he got me on methylene blue to start off. And I know Mel Gibson was on here talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that instantly stopped everything. And some other stuff.
So it was a fabric dye, right?
Yeah, in 1890.
How weird. And who the fuck drank it first? Who's that guy? Make blue jeans out of that? Huh.
Yeah,
what would it taste like?
Yeah.
What if I drink it every day if it affects my health?
It tastes like chewing an aspen.
I'd take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I take it every day as well. And
RFK Jr. told me about it.
Yeah, man, it's fantastic. And so this guy's injecting, in 1890, injects these rats with it, and then does an autopsy on these things. And their brain, the brainstem, every single nerve is blue. So he discovered this methylene blue has an affinity for neuronal tissue. So he says, well, it's sucking into neurons. What's it doing? So we could talk about it if you want to, but
sure,
how it's working and working in the body. So we started putting it in humans, and we found out it's an MAOI, which is just
monoamine oxide inhibitor.
Yeah, which helps with depression and anxiety and all kinds of life stress and stuff.
Does it cause side effects if you're taking any drug that you shouldn't take with an MAOI?
There are some studies that have been recalled that said you can't take it with SSRIs because you could develop serotonin syndrome.
Right.
But they did recall the study as far as I'm aware. And it is so incredible that it acts as an electron donor to mitochondria, especially your neuronal mitochondria. So it helps you produce more ATP, and it helps you get rid of this stuff called reactive oxygen species. So you have an oxygen molecule that should have two hydrogens on it. And like your body's job is to convert stuff into water so you can pee it out. So if you get an oxygen molecule, it's got 4, 5, 1, it's a reactive oxygen, which we call free radicals. So methylene blue goes in there and balances a lot of those things out in your brain and your nervous system. So it is a miracle, and it's been proven for 100 years. It's one of the most well-proven drugs out there.
What's the side effects of it? Are there any?
Not a bunch.
I would imagine if you're taking an MAOI, there's wild shit going on there.
Yeah, like if you mix it with anything that has metyramine in it, like aged cheeses, red wine, you're not supposed to mix it. If you're on a high dose though, but you're probably taking 1 milligram per kilogram, and you weigh probably 75 kilograms.
What's that weight? What's 75 kilograms?
You're probably 189, 190.
Close.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty close.
So you're about
heavier than that.
Okay. And so you take maybe 40 milligrams a day to 80 milligrams a day.
And you put it in water, is that what you do?
No, I have these little trokes. It's like the consistency of a starburst.
Oh, okay.
And you just cut them up, and they're 40 milligrams each. You obviously got to swallow them really quick, or your teeth are going to be blue for an entire day.
Yeah, it's a pretty potent dye. I see it in my pee.
Yeah. Well, I had to change the toilets in my house to black toilets because my My kids take it. My wife takes it.
Jesus, everybody takes it.
But like if you go to a party and you forget to flush, everybody just thinks that
It's one of those supplements that I take. I'm like, are you sure? Like every time I take it, I'm like, are you fucking sure? Like I drink it in water. I take a little eyedropper and squirt it in water and drink it. No, Gary Brecka told me about it. I should correct that. He told me to take it with red light therapy. That's what it was about.
Did he tell you why it all works?
He probably did, but I probably forgot.
Well, it's
why
blue.
does it work for red light therapy?
So anything that's blue means that it absorbs red and reflects blue light. So if you're in a red light therapy machine, all your neurons are soaking up way more red light than they otherwise would without methylene.
Oh.
So it's fantastic. It's like 600x the effectiveness of red light therapy.
Really?
I'm making that up, but it is a
Sounds good.
It's a significant increase.
How weird is it to be essentially a brain expert and get a brain disease?
It was horrifying because I know where this is going to go. At the end of the day, your hippocampus, your memory center of your brain, is eating itself. And during a seizure, you can lose up to about 1 million neurons a second. And the seizures were like 1.5 minutes long, and they're not like shaking on the floor. A temporal lobe seizure, you're just kind of like, you're just out, like you're unconscious.
You just seize up like Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, like you turn into a little zombie, your head falls down. And at the end of the day, I tried so many different things to fix it and stop these seizures. I was at a point of 9 seizures a day.
Jesus.
And I was desperate.
And you think this is because of the medication that they gave you that causes seizures, or is this just
I never took it.
Okay. So you had seizures, but the medication, why would they give you something that has a side effect of seizures?
I don't know.
If you're getting seizures.
And I don't know why you hear so much about these medical schools getting paid off by companies and stuff that don't really have our best interests at heart. And I think that methylene blue, you shouldn't have to tell a doctor about methylene blue. I think everybody should know about it. And you can get it on Amazon. You can get it. I get mine from this company called Mitozen, and it's fantastic. And it's changed my life. I would have been gone by now.
What's the root cause of this disease? Do they know?
So I'm going to put you back on sharing screen, and let's try going to Spotify, which previously allowed them to attack me repeatedly and instantaneously, seemingly end my live stream the one time that I attempted it. So let's try that now. We'll end this process, get rid of that first service worker. Whoop. To a new tab. Got the spare renderer, the extension, the Chrome untrusted. It's the domestic terrorist organization. It's not really Google. And let's try Spotify. Let's try searching for it on Google and then clicking on Google result to try and take us there and see if that does something. Remember, there is a high probability based on the one time that I attempted to use Spotify. Oh, and then it was iHeartRadio is where they attacked me and then made the live stream end. So this is not iHeartRadio, but as you can see, we have back forward cached page, dedicator worker, subframe, and if I end process, it will probably crash this page. Ah, it didn't. Interesting. Maybe they won't allow login if I close down all those things. So let's refresh the page and we'll leave all of these little things down here. Dedicated worker, subframe, we'll end the spare renderer. Now let's try logging in with all of them trying to join me and see if that allows the login. It's 2:32 p.m. Yes, it did allow. And then as you saw, they disappeared without me ending the task. Let's click on web player. So as you saw, once I logged in, all of those little things disappeared. Oh, they're back. I thought they disappeared because once I logged in, they were already in. There's dedicated worker and subframe Google. We'll end spare renderer. Service worker, dedicated worker, subframe, HTTPS. It looks like I can close these, but see this blue line right here? This tells me all of these will close if I close these. So let's just leave it on and let them attack. And if the live stream ends, I'll start a new one. But there's lots of new podcast episodes I want to hear. I was really into this Wild Wild West podcast that I started. This one, The Fall of Civilization, was good. That was a Joe Rogan recommendation that he said came from Elon. But there's a stupid podcast that I like called Was I in a Cult? With a former Mormon named Tyler Meeson. And they have a new episode that comes out usually on Mondays. And I want to hear it. It's what I was trying to listen to on iHeartRadio when they were able to terminate the live stream from iHeartRadio without me logging in at all. Here it is. Well, I pushed play, but it's not playing, as you can see. Play again. There we go. Lives Less Ordinary is another one that's got a new episode.
You help your little brother land a great job abroad, but when he arrives, the job doesn't exist. Instead, he's trapped in a heavily guarded compound, forced to sit at a computer and scam innocent victims while armed guards stand by with shoot-to-kill orders.
Scam Factory, the explosive new true crime
Okay, you see
podcast
wide vine
from Wondery
content decryption.
exposes a multi-billion-dollar criminal empire operating in plain sight.
Told through one family's
I'm going to
harrowing
click
account
end
of
on this, but it
sleepless
may
nights,
end and
desperate
crash
phone calls,
Spotify.
and
Let's see.
dangerous rescue attempts.
Oh, it
Scam
didn't.
Factory reveals a brutal
Shocking.
truth. The only way out is to scam their way out.
Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of Scam Factory.
Remember,
early
the FBI
and
did not
ad-free
say I couldn't
right now
listen
by
to
joining
podcasts
Wondery
or
Plus.
watch videos. They did say I'm not allowed
The views, information, or opinions
to click on my
expressed by
live
the
stream to
guest
watch them
appearing
while
in
they
this
were
episode
recording
solely belong to the guest
before they
and
ever
do
told
not
me to open up
represent or
Task
reflect
Manager.
the views or positions
Because
of the
they were
hosts,
gathering, quote,
the show,
data and
Podcast
collecting,
One,
quote,
this network,
evidence.
or any of their respective affiliates.
This episode contains sexual content. Please listen accordingly.
Okay, so I'm going to turn off the screen share
I
because
was a
there's still like
tolerate
stalkers
throw up
outside,
myself a
and
cold
just
leader
know
for the
that
first time in 20 years.
they've
Shiny
already done
happy
this before.
people
They've terminated a
did
live stream on
four-part docuseries about the
iHeartRadio,
Duggars and
not
that
on
Kids and
Spotify,
Cannon
but
family.
it's fair to
They were
assume
in
they
a cult.
can, and they still
Well,
have
I'm here
exterior
because when
stalkers
I saw it
outside,
was in a cult, I was like, I can't deny
i.e.
it
fellow
any
domestic
longer since
terrorists, and
it's joking around
potentially
Amazon saying,
one of the
"It was
two
a cult."
individuals the FBI is trying to determine whether or not they'll be going to prison. Because remember, they're trying to determine whether or not there's going to be a baker's dozen.
Welcome, one and all, to Was I in a Cult? I'm Tyler Meeson.
And over here, I'm Liz Iacuzi.
And we give cult survivors a place to share their incredible stories with the world, and in doing so, they take their power back.
We do that every single week, and we do it with love.
You know, a little bit of levity here and there when called upon. And our very own Liz was recently interviewed on another podcast, which means somebody beat me to her story.
I told you, Tyler, you waited too long.
We are working on your story for this show, and it will be different. But if you'd like to hear Liz discuss her cult experience and toxic relationships, check out the latest episode of What Came Next, a podcast that explores the aftermath of survival, hosted by award-winning writer, victim advocate, and true crime survivor, Amy B. Chesler.
It is a different format than our show, so when my episode airs here, you will get even more of the story, if you will.
Oh, I will. I will take as much from you as I can. Just re-traumatize you until you bleed and scream and give me your soul. That is what I do best.
He's really looking out for my best interest here, guys.
That's not germane, Liz. It's just for the best story. If it bleeds,
it leads.
Of course, as previously referenced, we are doing something called joking around.
What?
And a fun fact about joking.
Here we go. Already.
Did you know that the world's earliest recorded joke dates back to 1900 BC?
I don't even know how to count that.
It's a saying from the Sumerians, by the way, the first people to brew beer. Just so you know that as well.
Cool
It's got facts within facts. You're like
Sumerians
the
were the
Russian
first ones to
$19
brew beer. I had
facts.
no idea.
Come back down this road. We're staying on the joke. So the Sumerians lived in what is now southern Iraq. And the joke goes,
I'm going to initiate a
quote,
screen share.
"Something
It's because
which
I have
has
to pee
never
again.
occurred
And you may be
since
wondering,
time
why is she peeing so
immemorial.
much? Does she
A
have a
young
UTI?
woman
No,
did not
no.
fart in
I've
her
been
husband's
drinking
lap."
green tea
That's the
for
first joke.
days.
So the first
And
joke
it's a
ever
fucking
recorded
diuretic,
was a
man.
fart joke.
You're in good company,
Anyway,
Liz.
putting on screen
What can
share
I
while
say,
I
Rob?
urinate.
I know good humor when I smell it.
By the way, that's
And then
our
I am putting away the green
Rob.
tea for the rest of
Occasionally you'll
today.
hear him say a bad joke and maybe chuckle.
No more green tea for me.
I thought you were going to insert your own joke here, but you refrained.
I mostly do beer commercials from the 2000s.
Stay in your lane, Rob. Speaking of jokes, here's the second oldest recorded joke. It's from 1600 BC, and it comes from Pharaoh Snufru, and it goes, "How do you entertain a bored pharaoh? You sail a boatload of young women dressed only in fishing nets down the Nile and urge the pharaoh to go catch a fish."
So in 3,624 years, yes, I just did the calculator on that.
Sure you did.
We've invented what? Toilet paper, forks, and the Snuggie. But fart jokes and the objectification of women is still going strong. You know what? I do appreciate your consistency, humanity.
Some things never change. So today's story, let's get to it. It is wild, it's inspiring, it's heartbreaking, and it's filled with the moments that will leave you speechless, but not us speechless because we have to keep
We just keep
telling
talking,
bad jokes
right.
and facts,
Right.
right?
And what our guest has managed to make of her life from where she started is truly remarkable.
And yes, she was part of the same Christian fundamentalist group as the Duggars, aka the Institute of Basic Life Principles, founded by Bill Gothard. If you've seen Shiny Happy People, the documentary series on Amazon Prime, you know this was a system built on control, submission, and let's be honest, a doctrine that was designed to strip people of autonomy, enable abuse, and keep women and children powerless.
So with that, please help us welcome today's incredible guest. She's hilarious, unfiltered, and at times delightfully bawdy in the best way. I'm Crystal Ball. I was born in Texas. My mom ran away with my dad when she was 15, and he left when I was 2, and my little sister was 6 months. She remarried when I was 5 years old, and the man she married was a Marine drill sergeant who owned a weightlifting gym. She's a little meek, mild nurse. She was also a preacher's daughter. And my mom had what is now known as anxiety.
Okay,
Very
I am
high
ending the
levels of
screen
fear of the
share.
world. She was a baby. She's
Back
a
at the
sweet
laptop,
human, but,
that's why.
you know, weak-willed. And so she pops out another kid that year, but I was the oldest. And so I got a lot of the responsibility of all the kids she kept having.
Eventually, the drill sergeant husband also left, but her mother then met and married a new guy. His name was John.
He was an aircraft mechanic, then he kept getting laid off. And so all I know is at 14, we went into a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, rat-infested shithole house in Green Hill, Alabama. We moved 3 times in the next year.
Well, that doesn't
We
sound
went
like a
from
fun spot to
Alabama to
live.
Tennessee to California. You know, he was a go-getter. He would get into whatever he got into hard. So as he progressively got more and more into Jesus, we were in regular churches, and we had started going to these Bill Gothard seminars. That was the cult. And what happened at these cult recruitment meetings?
I believe you meant to say seminars, Liz.
Oh, yes, sorry, seminars. Mm-hmm. So he would come in and speak. This was the Gideon Bible founder's son, Bill Gothard. He didn't have a family, but he believed that he had discovered God's way to handle everything in the family. His big thing was an umbrella of protection. As the man is the head of the home, and you follow the man. You're literally supposed to yield your rights, and your place is behind the man, but you're expected to do all the work and all of the performance and have sex on command because God says you do what your husband wants, and you're not supposed to use birth control because those children are blessings, right? It all focuses around the family.
That sounds a bit like the cult we are all being forced to live in right now.
The rest of the dogma was centered around just more extreme components, I think, of Baptist religion, a lot of character pushing. Now, some people go to one seminar and say, this guy's a quack, and never come back. But a lot of them got
Unit
really
207
deep. But there were
entry
like
on the
2 million
balcony
people
at 2:42
going
p.m.
through all of this at the same time. So it was like this big movement. And that started the rabbit hole that my stepdad and my mom went down. My grandparents never went down that rabbit hole. They didn't fall into all of this. And that was a big bone of contention. They fought with my parents a lot. I was hook, line, and sinker because it was all I knew. My
Also, I
parents
haven't
are
heard
believing
any
this,
update
and it
from
sounds good
anyone
to me,
about the
like,
fuck you
this is
from
what
the
I'm supposed to
FBI
do.
today
And
or
I was
tomorrow
such a
to those that are
perfectionist that
members
tried
of
to
the
be
bar that are
perfect to
going
get
to prison.
any shred of love there could be possible because
I don't know
I
if I'm
didn't
gonna hear
have
anything
that. You know,
about
my real
that
dad
till
left
after
anyway.
the fact.
My grandparents loved me. My parents had such a bad relationship with them on and off. That was not even stable. The only way I got love is if I did everything I was told.
Now, something interesting about this cult is that it wasn't just about following the leader. It was like a franchise model for many cult leaders.
Fuckers setting up franchises.
Nice. So instead of one central church, they would train members to go out and set up their own mini churches in their own homes.
It's like Tupperware parties for misogyny. They were teaching everybody to set up these small pockets of cults within their own little areas. My stepdad decided he was the leader of our local community. Okay? This is what the cult taught him to do, though. You got to share God's word. You got to make your children be the exact replica of what godly children look like. The home church model was in our homes. It was really the saddest church you've ever seen. Most of the time it would just be reading some material from the cult or Bible verses, and then we would sing, and the singing was really bad. We didn't really have great material. We would sometimes listen to TV shows from other churches. Oh, hi there. Welcome to the First Church of Penny Pinch and Profits. Please grab a folding chair generously donated by the defunct bingo hall down the road and do your best to avoid all the splinters from the tattered hymnals. Thanks for coming. If you happen to die from boredom, well, that was your destiny. God loves you, and so do our unpaid volunteers. Most people didn't leave because my stepdad was a freaking asshole. He was very self-entitled, right? He would drone on and on, read the Bible to us in family devotions. He'd love to hear himself talk. What I remember the most is, in the reading on the daily devotions, I was in the floor keeping the kids quiet so they wouldn't get spanked because you spare the rod, spoil a child.
You know, we're not going to comment on this particular quote.
It's not in the Bible. That's not a Bible
Spare
quote.
the rod, spoil the child, because we've done it many times before. Do your own research, but damn, these cult leaders do not really know the Bible as they profess to.
It's from a horny poem. That's what Tyler told me. If you looked at him wrong, it was bad. We were just used and abused, and I was the oldest, so I took the brunt of it. But he would still make big theatrics of beating the little children, which was worse than beating me. But because he was distracted with being a godly cult leader, I got to provide for his family. And by provide, she means workload is 6 a.m. We're up, we're feeding kids, we're doing laundry, we're bathing kids, and after gardening, after hoeing and raking and whatever yard work, we're washing mold off of our walls because there was hardly any heat. It was in such bad condition when we lived there. It was crazy. We were just bunk beds and trundle beds and with mattresses that, we found off the side of the road or, charity. There were 9 people in that 1,100 square foot house because we were in poverty.
And in addition to obedience and submission, where, as Crystal said, if you were a woman, you had one job: serve your husband, raise an army of children, and never, ever question authority. Education? Not necessary. Higher education leads to sin and rebellion. And career? What do you mean? She already had a full-time job, didn't she hear? Serve the man.
And let's not forget the IBLP loved free labor. Families were encouraged to run businesses together. So kids were basically indentured servants, working long hours.
Let's just go real quick back to that whole women serving men. Here's where that comes from. This is the Abrahamic version of that, just to expand on that. So Godzilla, our creator, literally says that every man that is a man and actually alive and not just completely a Godzilla puppet, usually created to be annoying and fucking super bad person for you to try and avoid, Anyway, every man that's a real man that's actually alive has the head of God. That means they have no free will. And every woman is supposed to have the head of the Holy Spirit exist to help the real men who have the head of God. So I like to think of it as, if you have a penis, Godzilla wants you to experience while you have a penis. You being both in charge as well as completely the victim of your creator at the same time. The head of God. And for the women, it means that we do have a duty to help those men that are actually alive that have the head of God. And on that note, remember everybody, Godzilla owns all of the genitalia. Godzilla is 100% a hermaphrodite. 100%. And women get children, just like the Bible says, so that we can be injured and suffer for our decision to acknowledge and speak to Godzilla's little snake puppet. And eat from the tree of knowledge, which nowhere in the Bible does it say that's an apple tree. I speculate, in fact, it was probably not even a tree at all, but rather a pineapple, because that is the best fruit by so much, man. By so much, by 100 times. That is pineapple, the best fruit. Anyway, just throwing that out there. Back to the podcast.
Hours homeschooling themselves, running their homes like small-scale.
Oh, wait, let me pause and expand on that. So women get children so that Godzilla can use the children to hurt the women. That's literally the point, okay? It says that in the Bible as an ongoing, ever-present punishment for their eternal lives. Again, for engaging with the snake puppet. And then men have to deal with the women and the children. And then the children grow up and they hate the father eventually. It says that in the Bible too. If for you that are Christian, it says that in the book of Matthew. Sons will turn against their father. It also says daughters will turn against their mother. Anyway, it's all Godzilla. Don't get too hung up on your genitalia. Just assume if you're a man, you did better in a past life, and there is very much a high likelihood you've been a woman. Back to the podcast.
Religious compounds and getting punished for not being joyful enough about it.
And all the while doing so in abject poverty, while donating money and time to the wealthy church leaders.
Crystal's family needed more money to donate, so they were enlisted by a gentleman.
And then you have to also, as a man, think of these other Bible quotes that are in the Bible. Never divorce your wife, no matter what you do. Never divorce her. Never, never, never. And then Godzilla makes your wife become a complete monster. What happened to the woman you married? It's Godzilla being a fucking asshole. And if you do divorce her or she divorces you, don't remarry because you'll just get a worse monster. You may love the next one even more, but then Godzilla will turn him into an even bigger kraken or whatever they transformed to do. It's Godzilla. It's always Godzilla. The point is, male or woman, your point in life is to stay alive. And you know that you're doing it right if you consistently feel that you're surrounded by monsters and idiots. If you notice that people that criticize you are usually the ones guilty of exactly what they're fucking calling you. These are little clues from Godzilla. And it's done because Godzilla wants you to choose eternal life. You commit suicide, you go extinct. You die because a motherfucker shoots you, or you crash, or you're asleep and you have a heart attack. You're in the clear, you get eternal life. That's the rule of the game. That is your purpose, and people don't like to hear that. But that is our purpose. And if you're alive, it means you've won the game before. You've chosen eternal life. And now you're here. Somewhere you're not allowed to remember that you've already been. Somewhere that the Bible calls your lot. I like to think of it as your Excel cell.
Who was a pastor of a local church, and he had a cleaning business, so he had an extra job for us. I guess they were looking for money. So this was the way to do the seminars
version of godly life is that you all work together, live together, church together, all up beneath each other's shit all the time, so you can control everything, right?
But then hearing that, you're like, oh, it just sounds so awful. Then it's so awful. It's so awful. You have to remember checks and balances, checks and balances. You've had 40 years of awfulness. You've had 10 years of the most serious treachery and pain and misery and betrayal that an individual can have. You're isolated and alone and no one loves you. And you feel like more of a burden than a blessing. Stay alive. Our Creator does keep checks and balances. As long as you don't forfeit your right, you will be rewarded in this life, not in the next, in this life, with as much good things as you've received bad. That's what you have to remember. It's just unfortunately, sometimes it hits for longer than stories in the Bible. Like Job had a bad time for 3 years. If you have a bad time for 30 years, you better stay alive for the 30 that supersede it, because they'll be amazing. Equally as good as the bad. Okay, I'll shut the fuck up now.
So we started the cleaning business at home at that point. We would go to work around 1 or 2 and then clean all afternoon. And when I say work, we were working 6 to 8 hours a day on average. So we had houses, and sometimes we would do stripping and waxing jobs that would be 13, 15-hour days. Cleaning toilets of a 100-man warehouse. Cleaning the Catholic church, this huge church. I'm working until 10, 11 o'clock at night cleaning. Hey, we would find great stuff in the trash cans. Okay? Like a half-eaten Snickers bar. That was a treat.
Oh boy, it does take willpower to throw away half a Snickers. She's 14 years old at this point.
I lied. I'm not done talking. One more thing. This is just speculation, but I want to say it aloud, especially because there are women upstairs that are suffering clearly from Stockholm Syndrome. Lisa! You do have wax in your ears. The live stream is good because it's a deterrent for anyone choosing to come to my door and then commit some sort of fraud about what happened at the door, under the misconception that the FBI is not recording them as well. Okay, that's my speculation. I'm speculating the reason the live stream is running is very much because some of you, the FBI feels bad that you're going to prison. And by letting it run, they are preventing you from coming and perpetrating more fraud and stalking and intimidation and obstruction and blah, blah, blah. That's speculation. But it's based on the fact that literally the door is not opening and I'm not talking to you with or without a live stream. You know that. I know that. The FBI is recording everything outside just like you are upstairs. So it's speculation, but I'm speculating that that is why the live stream is running. Lisa.
Point, and she wasn't getting directly paid for all of this arduous labor. However, she was.
I was paying rent out of my money. I was paying for food out of my money. Well, we had a garden.
Remember, the FBI is excited to abdicate
anyway, we go there,
people in positions of power, forcibly removed. There is more than one individual that thought that retirement would prevent detainment and arraignment, and that
we were only around other cult people. Anybody that homeschooled.
These are all little things you have to like play connect the dots with, just like
group level. So for the homeschool program, all of our curriculum was Bible based, but we had to read the Bible every year, from cover to cover. I read the Bible 7 times. Mom said I was a girl. I didn't need math. Back in the book, there's the answer. So we did the perfunctory test for whatever very minimal state requirements there were. We did that. My education was over in 5th grade. My exposure to information was limited. I mean, Little House on the Prairie level limited. Biographies were the only way I could actually get around that because I could read biographies. I read as much as I could get my hands on. Reading was my outlet in writing. I think that is how I survived that. I internally knew that was my outlet. We'll be right back. Clothes. We need them.
Yeah, well, unless, of course, you are a Digambara monk. They actually practice nudity as a renunciation of material possessions, Liz.
Yeah, well, monks don't listen to our show, Tyler. So for everyone else, there's Quince. Guys, Quince is my go-to for luxury essentials at, yes, affordable prices.
Quince offers a range of high-quality items at prices within reach, like washable silk tops, dresses, organic cotton sweaters, just honestly tons of stuff.
And I said affordable, and I mean it. I just got a purse that should be 3 times as much, but shh, no one has to know that I'm a smart shopper.
Your secret's safe, because if podcast hosts like us can afford it, well, you know, pretty much anyone can.
And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes.
So there's no excuses to buying a new sweater.
Except for those naked monks.
I myself got a nice comfy cashmere crew neck. Slims me down by about 10 pounds, believe it or not.
Oh, Tyler, you look good just as you are.
Very nice, Liz. So give yourself the luxury you deserve with Quince.
Go to quince.com/cult for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns.
That's QUINCE.com/cult. Free shipping, 365-day returns. Quince.com/cult. Hey, Liz, have you heard of the term dark pattern?
That's what cult leaders call critical thought, right?
No, dark pattern is the term for the tactics that subscription services use to make canceling difficult.
Tell me more.
They employ complicated cancellation processes, forced customer service interaction, retention offers, automatic renewals, lack of transparency, and emotional manipulation to keep you and your hard-earned cash with them.
Not to mention the time it takes to cancel. Devious SOBs.
Well, folks, it just became easier because Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending and it helps you lower bills so you can grow savings.
When I first used it, Rocket Money found at least 5 subscriptions that I had forgotten about, and it canceled them for me. They'll even deal with customer service for you, so thank you, Rocket Money.
Rocket Money actually lowered my phone bill, so I didn't have to wait on hold or repeat my name 12 times.
And Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features.
Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/cult today.
That's rocketmoney.com/cult, guys. rocketmoney.com/cult.
Okay, we're back. You know, I'm a bit surprised that we haven't commented on Crystal's name. Crystal Ball.
A lot of opening and
Is that a
closing
real name?
going on in
It's
Unit
her real
207's
first
balcony
name,
door
but
at
she
3
changed
p.m.
her last name post-cult.
It's pretty good. Crystal Ball.
Is it the
could
Jersey
be
Devil?
Crystal
Possible.
Vase,
I no longer hear
I
the
suppose
exterior
you could do,
stalkers
or
outside, so maybe
chandelier,
she's
crystal
decided to go up to
chandelier,
Unit
or what's
207.
Indiana Jones and the crystal skull.
Yeah, she'll
she
come
did
back
that.
in 2
Crystal
hours.
Skull.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a pretty cool name.
Yeah. All right. Well, Crystal Ball it is.
You can change your name to that, Rob.
Next up, DMV.
All right. So here's Crystal Ball. She's in the cult, and every cult uses fear tactics to keep the group in control. But this group was extreme, especially towards the girls.
No way.
Wait.
Shocking.
I literally thought if I stepped foot on a college campus, I'd be raped. I thought men were solely out to get me. We were so hypersexualized without being sexual. We had no knowledge. They did not even let me go to sex ed in 5th grade. Heaven forbid I know what a vagina is, you know.
Well, to be
That's
fair,
crazy,
my
dude.
5th grade teacher taught me sex ed by stacking awkward silhouettes of bodies, on those transparency sheets. Remember those for overhead projectors?
Sure.
Transparency sheets. She stuck 2, like a male silhouette and a female, just on top of each other. She's like, this is how sex works. So honestly, even regular school wasn't quite nailing it.
That's crazy, dude. My sex ed was great.
I pretty much learned all
We
I
learned
needed
about
to know about
anatomy.
sex ed from
We
Todd
learned about
Johnson in a
STDs.
Playboy
We learned about
magazine
how
in the
not to
back
get
of the school bus. So at least
We learned
I
about
had real
Planned
pictures,
Parenthood.
Liz, and that knowledge has carried me through until today. That's all I
We're
needed.
all proud. But Crystal, guys, she didn't need to learn about sex because there was no dating. Betrothal was the name of the game. You had courtship, but you were never left alone because nobody had self-control. The courtship would be a very guided dating structured relationship with approval from parents on all sides.
And one day her parents returned from a cult convention and told her,
without a possibility for your future husband, we're going to keep in contact with him, and this is the type of guy we want you to marry. It was crazy. Who in their right mind finds a single guy at a convention cult to have their child on pen pal dating, arrange a visit, supervise the visit? What possessed my parents to befriend this?
Wait, what? How old was he?
30.
And she was
15. Yes. So I've got tons of letters that I wrote to the guy that I was going to be betrothed in marriage to. So but I write to him for years, not ever having met the guy. My sister met him. She went to that convention, not me. I had never met the man. This is how desperate I was for connection, anybody to talk to. But we were vetting each other. But no, it didn't happen because I was too busy serving my family. So,
Amen.
And because of the cult's terrible treatment of women, forced baby making, and lack of birth control, Crystal's family continued to grow and grow and grow
and grow and grow.
I idolized my mother, and I felt sorry for her, and I wanted to make sure that she didn't have any more stress on her than she already had. You could just tell she was breaking. I was trying to be her caregiver, and she was our only friend. I didn't have female friends, and I was her rock. I was her emotional support.
A lot of conspiring
coach.
going on upstairs at 3:03 p.m.
After my real dad
I think
left,
the Jersey Devil is wearing flats, and that's the voice that I just heard.
So it's no wonder I'm a world-class problem solver this day. When I was 15, Mom took the pregnancy test. I was in the bathroom with her, and she realizes she's pregnant again, and she's crying. So she wipes her eyes. She puts on her shiny, happy people face after that and goes out and tells everybody how God has blessed her with another child. So I know she doesn't want that child. I'm 15 years old. And in cult land, you learn to be a godly wife and serve the Lord by raising the babies the extra ones your mom has. So you're a sign.
And this little baby was very special to Crystal.
And she was a doll. She looked just like Shirley Temple. And she was just my little baby.
Dude. Everybody
I love that
babies.
child like she's mine. And then when I was 18, Jonathan was born. So those two babies are why I stayed as long as I did.
That's why if you
People
have a
ask me
baby,
why
you're
I didn't
obligated
get
to
out
share it
earlier.
with
That's
everyone in
why.
the community.
It's those two babies. And then
Make everybody
one
happy
year, I think I was
because
19,
of the
the
little
kid
babies.
popped up.
9 kids? My vagina hurts just thinking about that.
I think I'm going to take this line, Liz.
Go for it.
9 kids? My vagina hurts just thinking about that.
I never had a day off. I didn't understand that concept. I was always taking care of kids. I was under such pressure all the time. There was very little gratitude. There was very little commendation. There was very little praise. The number one emotion of my childhood was fear. The number 2 was guilt. The number 3 was shame. The number 4 was embarrassment. There was no positive emotion.
That's awful. You'd think it would be kind of positive, dude. I would have loved it if I was like the older sister to 9 little siblings that you get to babysat.
In March 1st, 1996, I wrote, it was on loneliness. I said, lately I haven't quite felt like myself. I asked God today to show me an answer or new insights. In my J.I. Packer devotional, I read this, Romans 7:18-19. I know that nothing good lives in me, that is, in my sinful nature. For I desire to do what is good, but I cannot carry it out. For what I do is not the good I want to do. No, the evil I do not want to do, this I keep on doing. So I started asking myself questions in my journal. Paul's cry sums up the questions of life's inner contradictions. Why do I so often feel lonely? But that was what we were taught. We are sinful by nature. So as I am hitting the age of 20 and I have 0 friends, some of the cult girls are starting to get out and go get married, but I'm realizing at that point I don't want to get married. But then I'm insecure because I think, that's what I'm supposed to do. It's not about what I want in my world. It's about what I'm supposed to do. It's a behavior, conditional behavior, right? So I was crying one morning because I'm suicidally depressed and I'm lonely. I'm sad. I'm exhausted. I'm overworked. I have no freedom, and they're starting to limit more of my freedom. They were getting more and more insane. Instead of easing up, it was getting more pressure on me. And so, because I was not happy, and God said, "Be happy," they were going to punish me.
Yeah, it is the Jersey Devil. Okay, so I am going to edit in the description of this video.
Or I can't walk into Walmart first. I can't check the mail. I can't answer the phone. I have to stay at home with the babies. I can't go cleaning. And I have to write an essay.
Unit
on my
207
bad
is
attitude.
preventing the edit
But
from executing.
As I sit there and I'm just
That's never
stunned
happened
that there's
before.
more punishments coming. It feels so
Click on the
unfair.
share
And
screen
my mom says,
so you
"Look at
can
her,
see
John.
that I'm
She's just
clicking
that
edit
bad.
and
You
they're
just beat her."
preventing it. Oh,
And my
once I
mom,
click
she
share
usually
screen,
on
it
my
magically
side.
allowed me to edit.
We're usually collectively going against him. But my
2,
mom is turning
25,
on me at that point.
3
When
p.m.
she said that,
to
something
3:07
clicked in my
p.m.
brain. There was no
Miss
going back at that point.
80.
I sat there. I gave them what they wanted to hear.
I'll
I know
do Miss
exactly
or
how to put on my
Mrs.
shiny, happy people face. Apologize.
80.
Tell them I'm wrong.
Live stream.
He was
Your connection is
hauling ass
unstable.
back to that
Please
house,
wait.
and I'm
So
like,
let's.
and
Oh, it
that
went
put
away
me
on
under
its
fear.
own.
I know what rage looks like. I'm ready for. Oh God, here we go. He slams open that door. He says, "Crystal, honey, if that's how he's been talking to you all these years, no wonder you left." He goes, "You are my girl now," and he bear hugged me. And that was the first time in
And
my
see how
life
they're
I
cutting
had
the
ever
internet
felt
down to
safe.
0 here. That's them actively attempting to
never knew what
terminate.
safety was
Which
until
remember,
that
when I
moment.
opened up the Spotify, I told you guys
And my
they were only
grandfather's
able to
Trudeau's
do it on
word,
iHeartRadio, and every
always
time I
did
went to
that day
Spotify,
on
it
until
appeared
the day
they'd be
he
able to
died.
terminate it. But you just saw they attempted, and then they stopped, and a girl upstairs told the Jersey
Was I the
Devil,
Cult
"See,
is
see,
brought
we
to
can
you
do it.
by
We can proceed with our
Progressive
remaining
Insurance.
Fiscally
absolutely
responsible
going to
financial
prison
geniuses,
plans."
monetary magicians. These are
So we're going to
things
open a new
people
tab
say about drivers
while
who switch
sharing the
their car
screen,
insurance to Progressive and
and we'll
save
put the task
hundreds.
manager up here.
Because Progressive offers discounts for
And we're
paying
going
in
to go
full,
to the
owning a
YouTube
home, and
studio
more.
You know,
and
stuff adults
edit
do, right?
the
Plus, you
preceding
can count on
live
their
stream.
great customer service to help you when you need it.
Here
So
are
your
those
dollar
domestic
goes a
terrorists
long
again.
way.
Hidden
So
under
visit
spare
progressive.com
render,
to
and
see
we
if
should
you
see
could
down
save on
here
car insurance.
dedicated
Progressive
worker and
Casualty
service
Insurance
worker.
Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not
But as you
available in all
saw
states or
with
situations.
the Spotify login, they magically all showed up and then disappeared once I logged in. So maybe the same thing. We're looking at this blank white screen. Why?
Well,
Because of the
let me
domestic
introduce
terrorist
you to
upstairs.
Tipsy, the app
That's
that
the only
brings you
reason.
short, sexy audio
Service worker
stories
down here on the
designed
task
to
menu.
ignite your imagination.
Notice
Created
the
by
network,
women
they're
for
making
the
it go
female
to 0.
gaze, the Dipsy app has over
These are the same
1,000
individuals we unregistered
spicy
and then
audiobooks,
re-registered.
all crafted
Let's
by
click
a
on the
team
live stream and
of
see
professional writers
if
and
they've successfully
top-tier
terminated it.
narrators.
No, they haven't. But you did just see
Dipsy's
them
stories are
magically
like the palate
disappear under the
cleanser your
incognito
ears
tab.
deserve. Steamy, empowering, and dare I say, fun. Plus, they're created with real consent and zero manipulation. Imagine that.
And as you
right
can see
now,
on the left, they're
listeners of this
actively
show can
attempting
get
to
an
terminate it.
extended
So let's end
30-day
the podcast. There we go. We've ended the podcast. Clicking back on channel description. Now with the podcast over, you can see they're unable to terminate this live stream, but you can see that they're actively attempting to. And you can also see that that's why this was a connection is unstable. And yet we're still connected. They're doing their job, Mrs. 80 plus years. It's just as you keep failing to acknowledge, you are absolutely going to prison. And there's not a sheriff in this county that doesn't have your name on a little list, lady, including your former friend, the one that did anything you said. The plane landed upside down. And you're still going full steam ahead, knowing I'm telling the truth. Now we're going into here because we want to go to the preceding live stream, and we're going to change the title on that. Because although the exterior stalkers are still upstairs and whatnot, they're not going to be able to proceed as planned. And I am thinking, based on the pattern of criminality and criminal conduct for what will be 18 months in a matter of days, that now, since the exterior stalking has been attempted for days now, over 12 hours, Miss Jersey Devil's been here waiting for 2 or 3 days, just over and over and over again. I'm going to say that it's probably going to happen on Friday. So let's write changing plans for weekend break-in. Terrorism. Tampering. Obstruction. And then we'll save that for the preceding live streams title. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. Miss Jersey Devil, get your little ass right back in here, darling. I'm going to log back into Spotify. Let's let you keep attacking. Bring her back in. Let me log back into Spotify so you can resume the attack. And more importantly, so I can resume the fucking podcast, yo. There they are. Well, they're back. You know what it's like? It's like how I imagine people feel when they get herpes. That's what it feels like, you guys. They're just always there. Okay, we'll leave all of these on here. See, the service worker, the dedicated worker, those should say domestic terrorist. Former police officer that will take a plea deal and manage a Panda Express where he'll handle the orange chicken complaints. Okay, resume the attack. And I'm resuming the podcast. Yep, you heard me, guys. I'm not taking any countermeasures.
Right now,
We'll just
listeners of this
let
show
them
can get an
attack,
extended
attack,
30-day
attack.
free
The door is still
trial.
staying closed, and I'm
Just
still
go to
staying silent, and you're still 100%
dipsystories.com/in
under the
a cult
eyes and surveillance
and
of the
start your
FBI,
free
as well as
trial.
your own
That's
recordings,
VIP,
stalkers.
SEAstories.com/inaccult for 30 days of full access for free. Visit dipsystories.com/inaccult.
Miss Jersey Devil, the
Have
FBI
fun.
would like you to stop trying to send people to prison and to do the right thing at long last. None of us are expecting it. None of us are expecting it.
Daughter,
but that's still the
and
desired
a
outcome.
sister, right? And a child of God and a servant to God. Okay.
And do
I lost my
remember, Miss
identity.
Jersey
I
Devil,
lost my home.
I have far more
family.
respect for you
I
than I
lost my
do for your
church.
clone,
I lost
Cujo
my
2
friends.
Lisa.
The cult
Mini
people,
me.
once I
Far
left,
more
they
respect
can't
for
talk
you.
to me. I'm excommunicated. I lost everything I had. If I had not had my grandparents, I don't know where I'd be to this day. The hardest part of all this, and the part that it doesn't matter how much counseling I ever go through, is the babies. I tried to see them several times after I left. I guess I missed that it was the babies that were driving me to go see them, right? And so I went to the house one time. John's scurrying the kid, go in. He's telling the kids to get away from me, like act like I'm going to hurt these children, right? And he's like, you got to get out of here. I'm going to call the cops. He threatened to call the cops.
So Crystal left, but a few weeks later,
I drove by one day and saw the U-Haul. And so I think they left the state. DCF was about to go get the kids. So they left the state.
DCF had apparently gotten wind of the child labor abuse, so they fled. And the worst part, Crystal had no idea.
Okay, now that the podcast is playing, let's try ending just these two. I think that'll crash the whole Spotify, though, because I think these blue lines mean they're all connected.
she did have.
So let's try just
Even
these
though
two,
she
dedicated
really
worker
didn't
and
even know
subframe.
So my real
Okay,
dad
that
had
was able
been
to
trying
end.
get
The
hold of
podcast
us for a
stayed
while,
on. But if I
and
close service
Mom would always
worker, it
stick on
crashes
them,
Spotify.
And I wanted to meet him.
Oh, and we have this
this
stupid wide vine content decryption again. I never
needed
noticed
help,
that one until it's been running
Papa
for a
went and
long
vetted it
time.
for me. He's all excited to get to meet my dad. He would have been 40, early 40s.
Okay, resume the attack without those two on.
Excited because I realized I was just like him. I look like him. I act like him. My mannerisms are his. It's just crazy, right? That's where the personality came from. You know, I'm like, oh, it makes sense now. So he's living in Birmingham. I go into his room. It's black and white. He's got a Playboy girl cut picture. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to hell. I go from cult dad to Satan. Like, I thought he was the devil himself.
But the devil at least had a solid job.
He's an F&I guy at a car dealership. So I looked at his world, and I looked at mine, and I decided I could sell cars, and that'd be a lot easier than cleaning toilets. I sold 3 the first weekend. I didn't know the difference between a 4-cylinder and a 6-cylinder. So I was always good at selling.
Outside of her father and grandparents, Crystal didn't have many people to talk to. So she called the one person she remembered from the cult.
the only little boy I knew from home church. And he had been excommunicated because, yeah. So I called him about 6 weeks later. I said, I left home. I was sad, lonely. He goes, jump in, the water's fine. I'm like, oh, okay.
So she reconnects with this guy, and, well, let's just say she takes the train to Bone Town.
Looking back, I had been deprived of human connection and touch and love for so long. I was desperate to be loved. That's it. So I got married right off the bat. But see, I was so ignorant. Great. I had never seen porn. I had never read a book. I've never been to sex ed. I know nothing about sex. Okay. So my first foray into this is wiggling around, feeling good, and exploring your body. But I don't know what anal sex is. But that's what I did because I still had to be a virgin when I married. I was thinking, I'm not getting
girl.
for this, but
no,
oh
she
God,
let him
feels so
suck
good.
her in the poop
But
shoot so she could stay a virgin. You're not a virgin. If you have poop shoot sex, you're not a
I asked my
virgin.
husband one time, "Are you big?" And he got offended. And I don't know.
That's not
I've
allowed.
never seen another dick.
I guess it is.
I'm
That's fucked up,
different,
dude.
right?
My mind would have never gone there. I would have never been like, fuck me in the ass, then I can be a virgin
Once I
still.
discovered good sex, I was hooked. But it took several tries to discover good sex. So once I did, I was hooked. Okay, so and it turns out I was really good at it.
But unsurprisingly, this man that Crystal married after only being out of the cult a few months wasn't the right match.
I wanted more out of life, and so I did what every good little Christian girl was. When marriage is not going well and you're too scared to get out of it, you just go fuck your boss. So my little one-eyed pygmy goat boss at the time, he had a beautiful wife, and I wanted to know how he got this woman. It certainly wasn't his sex skills. I figured out real quick. But see, I was so ignorant. Okay, looking back, there was so much emotional immaturity. I was so naive on everything. I mean, this was a very slow coming out process, like to a normal pace. And then it wasn't normal because I still married. So I don't know that it's normal to take your history teacher to Miami and have a foursome in a hot tub.
Excuse me?
What is going on? I thought she was Mormon. How did we get here?
Crazy history teacher. I love to travel with it. So we were down in Miami. Remember, I have never been around another female. So I do not know how other women work. I just know that I'm different, right? But yeah, we're in the hot tub in Miami. The guys were really slick, and they told us it was the hot tub at their house, and it was a hot tub in a public apartment. So I don't care. I'm off with my clothes and in the pool, and she's going, oh. And I'm like, what's wrong with her? Why don't she just get in, But then come home on your birthday, and your husband's got a surprise party for you. Yeah, but I eventually divorced him, and it wasn't until I made a lot of money that I had time to get out of it, right?
Yep, the girl who once ate Snickers bars from the trash is now self-made.
Wait, what? I'm the rags to riches stories? I ran the cleaning business through college, and then was also selling cars, and then I went into the convenience store industry. I was having a ball, okay? I just wanted to understand the world and have experience. I just wanted to know how everything worked. The world is my oyster, and I was curious as hell, right? Because I had been repressed for so long. And I usually dated for a year at a time. I try to find a good nerd with a good sized dick that knew what he was doing. I didn't have real high standards here. I want to see all the dicks. Just curve yours. What? That's a potato. That's not a dick.
I don't know why, but I'm like imagining this woman that sells Tupperware and wears like a cardigan and looks
Editor's
like a prude
note.
saying all the shit
Yeah,
she's
I know
saying.
the sound effects are too much. It's all weekend, so please, this is the only joy I have. Just let me have this one.
So those first few years were really very disorienting, and I was struggling with the judgment. I was struggling with just finding my own way. What I did not deal with was the emotion, and that's when I had another very short-lived marriage, and that was when I was spinning out and treating guys terrible. I was not a good version of myself at all because I was so hurt. But I didn't know, I couldn't recognize what the hurt was from or where, I didn't understand myself.
No, the pendulum does swing. See, when you were as suppressed as long and to the extent that Crystal was, all of her behavior after leaving, it kind of makes complete sense.
And she was hurting the most over one thing in particular.
Because that burden of not knowing and of missing those babies, it never left me. And so I paid an investigator to find them. I drove all the way to North Carolina with my husband. My sister, my brother answered the door. They had been prepped if I came there to not let me in. So I had to wait for Mom. My sister answered the door. She goes, Mom, we'll see you now. And I had prepared for a lot of different reactions. That's not a reaction I had prepared for. So I burst into tears. And I'm like, We are a family. I don't know what the problem is. I'm married. I'm doing well. Everything's good. What is the problem? I said, you ran off with my dad at 15. John has a problem with what you've done. You have to talk to him. And they told me to go home. I left without seeing the babies.
Fucking cults, right? Cults.
Fucking cults. We'll be right back.
I want someone from the North Everett precinct to go on the show and be like,
right back,
I was
guys.
in a domestic terrorist organization.
A true crime podcast.
It got me upset because this is someone's
One of
kid,
you that are
and
whistleblowers, you
someone
can
knows
go on
she's
this
got it.
podcast. That shit would be
takes a different
hilarious, dude. I want to hear the
It
internal
was
workings.
shocking for something like this to happen in our little town.
Focusing on
The only people allowed to go there are
by
those that have only been up there
life-shattering
since September
It made
2023.
news throughout the entire region that these two people had been shot while they slept in such a safe community.
to give a new perspective
My first thought was that I think this is one of them.
as well. But that reprogramming was helping to get my head back on straight. I honestly did not know I had childhood trauma until I started counseling. I had to reprogram every
Let's do a
element
couple of
my
other
life
things. All of
to
these things
function
would normally open it
at
up
all.
to
But
them
that
terminating my live
reprogramming
stream
was-
right away.
It was very difficult out of
As
that
you can
environment.
see all that.
Psychologically, I was really
All I
screwed
did was
up.
open up a
I just
tab.
didn't know how
That's all I
bad
did.
until years later. But that was when I first started making decisions that were right for me.
Render. I hear exterior stalkers
I
again.
never realized I was different. I've
From
spent so much
untrusted.
of my life trying to blend in to get a friend, but then now I realize, oh wait,
Mystic
but I
Win
was
YouTube
meant to
again.
stand out, and I was meant to be different. This is who I've come to be, and it's okay. It's okay to be me now.
And eventually, Crystal, who spent her entire youth taking care of babies, she had her own.
And as you can see,
And I had my son, the happy accident, and
this
I was
isn't
over the
loading because of the
moon happy
domestic
to have that
terrorist
baby. And that baby
upstairs.
did heal my broken heart.
actively
I could
trying
never
to
love
terminate any
until
sort of
I had my
internet
child.
connection
And I was like,
from
my
either
son
the
needs to
live stream
know
that's
my
recording
family. I'm gonna try to,
or any
I'll-
live stream
I'll
I
be the bigger
might push.
person, I'll forgive, and I
And
did.
yet the live stream
I'm
is
gonna
still
tell my
recording.
children the
Again,
truth of what happened.
this is
Because I
because
live in the
of the
truth.
FBI.
You know what I realize is you're not ashamed.
There is
of what's
no
in your
reason
closet. If you will deal
scientifically
with
this should
yourself
be
and you've
happening,
reconciled what you have done,
but there
then
is.
there's nothing to hide. And
It's
that's
the
what I've done. I've done
FBI.
some real crazy shit
Dumbass.
in my life, and I wouldn't change a
The
fucking
FBI
thing
is literally
because I
actively
lived
trying to
my
prevent
life
some
and
of
I lived
you
my truth, and I
from
lived a
going
great
to
big adventurous
prison
life.
with those
I
who have
moved
been
to
begging
Florida
to
so
go
that
to
I
prison.
could-
That is why the
and
live
I'd
stream
always
is
wanted
still
to live at the
running,
beach. It's
you
where I
dumb
get my
fucks.
zen on, and I met my ex-husband about 6 months into this.
Now.
And so I wanted another baby.
The live stream could terminate. It doesn't
Fast
change the door
forward
being
to
closed
now.
and it being illegal for you to be outside of it,
Date,
let
breakup,
alone
bum,
trying
bum,
to
bum,
talk to
sex,
me.
sex,
Those
sex.
things are as
Whoa.
illegal as they've been since August 6th. Federally,
Yummy.
feloniously. No immunity. So let's click on the live video.
I have 2 boys. They're 8 and 12. I want my boys to see a mom who's in charge of this family.
Something
Because
else
I'm
popped
the
up other than
strongest of
service
them,
worker?
because I've
Oh
been
no,
through the
it's
most
still
hell.
just service
I
worker.
have
Okay.
very severe parenting PTSD.
307 videos
because
set for public
anything that I'm
consumption
doing
on
with my
my end,
children,
Nerd
I'm
Squad at
having to
3:28 p.m.
reprogram
as you can
hard
see for
and
yourself.
fast. Because every natural instinct I have is wrong to parent. I'm not going to beat my children. I'm not going to talk to them harshly. I'm not going to stay on their ass about everything 24/7. I'm going to encourage them to have friends. I'm going to facilitate those connections. They're amazing little humans, and we have a very unorthodox situation now.
Yes, she got married and did have a second child with him. They have subsequently divorced, but now the father of her sons, well,
They moved in together. It's a big house. It's got the pool table and the darts, and I've got the pool house near the beach, the golf cart. The kids had the best of both worlds. They were 5 minutes from each other. It's a magical life. I go eat over there when I want, and we all just get along. And then they'll cook for my boyfriend if I have one. But it works.
Wow. Talk about a modern family.
right? Move over, Julie Bowen. And Crystal's now working in real estate and kicking ass in it.
So not many women did the type of job I was doing. I was working in a man's world, but I could be a man. And I remember a weird, awkward conversation with John once. I told him I wanted to be a boy, and he told me how wicked and ungodly that was. But I
So
realized
let's end
I wanted
this
to be a man
task and
because I
crash
didn't
that
want to
tab.
be abused. That's all it was. Men had
X
the
out of
power
it.
to not be abused. I
Then we
just
got to
wanted to be
end the
safe and
extension that
secure and
kicks
loved.
on
But it was
anytime
hard
I
for me
X
to admit
out.
that.
The
That's
surrender.
admitting to the shameful past I had. That's admitting to the fact I came from nothing. That's admitting to the fact my parents were a bunch of dumb fucks.
We're going to
I'm
click
saving
back
my
in
own lane,
the
and I'm
private
responsible
one
for
now
me.
and open
And now
a window.
I calm the fuck down
As
for
you
the
can
first
see,
time in my life that I can breathe without
same thing. The
stress
service
and trauma
workers are under
existing
their
in my head, right?
and
But
we're
it
on
was
their
taking
browser
2
again.
years of consistent counseling and reading 20 different trauma and therapy and
Going to
relationship books and
studio.youtube
a
again.
lot of
As you can see, that
self-education
initiates
to
the
get to
spare
this point.
render, and as you've seen
My
repeatedly,
mind
it
is
means
shifted
staring
from
at a blank white screen
small-minded,
until Unit
ignorant,
207
while
allows
we
whatever
waste
they're
our
going
breath
to
over
allow
this
to load.
bullshit to let's figure out how to build
And the
the
spare
life we want.
renderer
And
reinitiates,
I want
I think, 3
a
or 4
magic life
times.
of travel and adventure at the beach and getting to do what I want to do. And I've done it.
Still looking at that white screen for that same reason.
Damn right you have.
And there's much more to do. Crystal continues to live in Florida, and since I have given very few facts in this episode, I will say that an estimated 1,100 Florida
I do hear the
police
Jersey
officers
Devil.
have been
She's still
fired by
outside at
other
3:30
Florida
p.m.
police
So maybe I
departments.
too
Just
hastily
fact for ya.
retitled the preceding live stream.
Why?
Unit
Why have they
207
been fired?
should have
Why do they to give that
theoretically, by
fact?
everything we've seen visually, terminated this live stream. It should
I
no
don't
longer
know.
be running.
It's just
We've
something
seen
I
it
read in
repeatedly on
Harper's
this end.
Bazaar, and I'm relaying it to you.
And yet,
He loves his Harper's
let's
Bazaar.
click on it.
I do actually.
It's still running. And let's get back on
Me,
this.
But I do.
You just got your teeth cleaned or what? You're at the dentist?
I get a subscription, but whatever.
You just had to, don't you, Tyler? You just have to.
Yeah, that's what I do. I give facts, Livs. Would you bemoan a robin for singing or the sun for shining?
I don't know if I would bemoan anything, Tyler.
What's Crystal doing now, Liz?
Crystal
Go
is
ahead.
also in process of publishing a book called Diary of a Cult Girl, which is a compilation of all her diary entries from her times growing up in her cult. And she's also written a book called 300 Men and Counting, which is what you guessed. All the dicks, as she said. It is a hysterical
All the
romp
dicks.
through the hypersexuality of repression cultivated during her time in the cult.
Wow. I think I'll read that book.
I think you want
Okay,
to
so
read
we'll
that
end
book.
this process, crash that
Speaking of
tab.
books, did you know that the
We'll keep
percentage
you guys on
changed since
Spotify.
2021 in the portion of Americans who want to receive a book for the holidays? is a
Clicking
negative
edit in this
21%.
very video. Oh,
Ooh.
incognito
And Tyler with the
extension, spare
uplifting
render.
facts, everyone.
Just gonna write a little
Next,
update
you're
at
gonna tell us some
3:32
weird
p.m.
stat
The
about gift
craziest lady
cards.
of all is still outside.
$1 billion.
Okay, that's insane. Is that true?
Yeah. Yes.
Guys,
Yes, start sending them to us. We will spend them wisely.
that's cool.
Sponsor that we
A female
have that I won't
upstairs
name
that's one of
here
the ones they're
apart from
excited to
saying
throw it. She
via
keeps saying
me.
C. She's so proud of the fact.
Via Tyler.
Let's hope that she keeps that
Winky,
same
winky.
energy when it's
So,
only on her
Sign up,
indictment.
I'll send you some goodies.
Oh,
Thank you,
factful.
everyone,
I
for
told
listening.
you.
Thank
If it's
you for
allowed,
being here,
why?
for giving us your
Evidentiary
attention
value.
for 1 hour a week. We really
You don't
appreciate
want to
you.
hear it
And Crystal, thank you for telling
because
us
it's true.
you're hilarious. You rock.
And next week we'll have another fantastic story. This one, let's just say that if you've seen the wonderful show The Bear, you'll appreciate this one.
You're gonna like this call, guys.
Is it a beef sandwich cult?
That's what I'd actually join. I would quickly rise the ranks of that cult.
All of my sweat, tears, depression, panic attacks, anxiety, trips to the hospital. It was so worth it. All of the things that they said that I would get, the glory, I got it. It's real. So
I said life's
doubled
less
down
ordinary,
because
but I want to see if
they
there's
were
a new
right.
episode
Chef
of this
was right.
podcast. There
And
should be.
I became a big
It's
old
scary
angry
stories.
bitch.
Scary stories.
Just totally
Good for people
tearing
with
into
short attention
people,
spans.
humiliating people in front of their coworkers. And that was just how things worked, you know? All fine dining chefs kind of do that.
This is not the latest episode, but this is one of those podcasts where there's no sort feature on the web, like there is on the app.
Where do you even start?
So the
Talk
best
space.
off is to click on the latest episode that it has and then push forward until you get to whichever episode.
All of this
you're
was
trying
as
to do.
alarming as you might imagine, but the part that has me worried the most, I took a deep breath in.
By Blair Daniels.
Oh man, why did it go into Matt? Oh, I don't want to have to go through 70 episodes.
I took a deep
but I
breath
guess that's
in
what I gotta do, eh?
and let it out. Spirits, we call to you. For a moment, nothing happened. And then the planchette began to move.
I'm not gonna fuck with that. We're opening another tab. Oh, you see all the activity, all the flurry of activity from the domestic terrorist upstairs. The Antiquarium of Sinister Happenings. Oh, that's just gonna roll me right into that URL, huh? The Antiquarium of Sinister Happenings, February 2025 episodes. Oh, look, guys, the service workers disappeared. That must mean they're gone. No. No. You guys. Uh-huh. Check it out. iHeartRadio is the one that they use to attack me and terminate the live stream all within like 16 seconds. Let's click on it for that. All right. Let's see if they repeat that, because that happened. We have back forward cached page. Spare renderer. Servicers. Okay, this looks like it will close iHeart. Click spare renderer. Another spare renderer kicked on. A guy upstairs said, shit, he's making so much headway. It's iHeartRadio. They did this before. Subframe, JWSPRV, dim dex, I'm a SDK, back forward, spare renderer, ADT traffic quality, subframe, spare renderer. You saw it all. The excitement upstairs was palpable. Let's click play newest. I'm sure all of those things will pop up again once I do that. Play newest. Ooh, I was commissioned to write a horror story. Oh, I don't get to play it without you guys having all that hacking and shit and downloading of files you want to execute?
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed? This not feeling so great about your life or about yourself?
We landed upside down.
Really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go on.
I almost died. That's what really happened, guys. Those of you that don't realize it, all of you that are whistleblowers, that is exactly what almost happened. You almost went to prison for the rest of your lives.
Wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed,
yeah, you almost died.
Struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here.
Oh, look at them.
Plus,
we're in
Talkspace
accounts
works
Google.
with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com.
What's even more interesting to me, though, guys, is you seem to have all missed the memo. The FBI never told me to keep ending these processes, nor did they tell me I couldn't listen to podcasts or watch movies. They told me any terminations in my live stream would be allowed for evidentiary value, if there were
confident was I that I
evidentiary
spoke
value.
with the consignor and had them drop off this relic now just 15 minutes ago. I'll tell you, it wasn't very hard to convince them. In fact, I heard a knock at the back just to open the door and see this lying on the ground with a rather ominous letter that said, "It's your problem now." A small black notebook wherein you will find cryptic, maddening words, jotted down in a hurried hand. Disturbing sketches As you flip through, you will notice something odd. A page missing. Torn clean out. As though someone wanted to erase part of a story. Or perhaps something far worse. Let's put pen to paper for this one called I Was Commissioned to Write a Horror Story. Before we begin, I want to point out some of the customers whose names have been etched in brass.
Oh, as
on
you
this
see, they're
beautiful
actively
plaque I
tampering
have
and
laid
hacking
above
right
the
now.
front desk.
Try this. Try
These are
that.
some of the members of the
Never
inner
mind that she
circle of the
appears to be a
antiquarian.
bit of a matador right
Go
now.
by
It's not a
the
trap. We
obsidian
are
covenant.
bulls. Wait a
Recent
minute.
initiates include Heather
If it
McClue,
smells like a
Zach
trap,
Russell,
then it looks like a
Hannah,
trap. And it seems
Mr.
to really
Grinnell,
be true.
Renata Hernandez,
Well, folks,
Esme Prouse,
it's a snare.
Celtic Scorpion, Maya White, Oda Saku. We are ever appreciative of your devotion to the Order. Go to theobsidiancovenant.com to receive the sacrament.
Service worker is opening
Now,
Spotify.
where
Since I'm
were
not
we?
using Spotify, I'm going to end this process,
yes.
okay? It's over.
Welcome to the antiquarium
Stick to
of
iHeartRadio.
sinister happenings and odd goings on.
I'm gonna go pee again. I haven't drank any more green tea. I'm leaving the mouse where it is because if it goes anywhere else, like directly above it, where Unit 207 has moved it twice in the last 48 hours, they'll be charged for that. Okay, so you'll hear my voice and I will move the mouse while I'm talking the next time I move it.
I was commissioned to write a horror story. I was given some strange guidelines to follow. Hey, I'm making this recording because I figure it's important to share my recent experience with any other horror writers out there. A narrator reached out to me after finding my stories on creepypasta.com. I usually ignore these requests, especially if they begin with I'm starting a new channel, because they often ask to use my work for free. And sometimes, to add insult to injury, they're not even narrating, but just using AI. I was going to close the message when the narrator followed up with,
You will be paid a flat fee of $300 per story.
That piqued my interest. Why so high? And was informed that I would have to sell all the rights to my story. It would belong wholly to the Scream Collector, the channel, and I wouldn't be able to reprint or repost anywhere. If I accepted the commission, a list of guidelines would be emailed to me. How long do the stories have to be?
From 2,000 to 4,000 words.
The stories would be released in a kind of anthology, featured around the fictional town of Pinefell. I was the first author contacted, but if the channel was successful, the anthology would be expanded to include other writers. The stories would all be published by the Scream Collector, or TSC as the name was displayed on the channel logo, with the conceit being that they were all true stories being shared by the titular collector of Pinefell. In short, I wouldn't get any writing credit.
Also, you should go away from this live stream if you don't like scary stories, because this podcast, some of the stories are very scary.
But selling all rights? Not even getting my name attached?
Some are not.
I messaged back that I have to think about it.
Like Feed the Pig, are like
TSC
nightmares.
said, of course, but not to take too long because they were contacting other writers and I might lose out on the opportunity.
Or the elevator game one, which scares me more
In
than
the end,
any
I
of them.
accepted because of the money, obviously. I mean, how many times had I let my stories be narrated for free in exchange for exposure? And how would that pan out for me? Now, this time, I'd take money. Given how stereotypical the channel looked, they only had one video introducing the town of Pinefell with a spooky and obviously AI voice. It didn't seem like I'd have much room for creativity. I'd just be writing formulaic, trope-filled, utterly generic
Let's log back into
creepypastas.
Spotify on the other tab. Seems
I
like
was sent a
there's something with
contract in
iHeartRadio
standard
that makes it
legalese
so that
about
they're
what we
able to
discussed.
do way
I'd
more
sell
bad
all
shit
rights for
than
$300
just
per story
Spotify.
to belong to TSC, the Scream Collector. After I signed and sent back the contract, they sent me the guidelines.
Yeah, see?
This is where things got weird. I was asked to write the story in a Google Doc. I'd be sent a link to the shared doc,
See,
but I wouldn't
see here
be
we
the
have
primary
service
owner, and I
worker,
would have no
dedicated
power to
domestic
change the settings or
terrorist.
anything like that. The document would belong to the channel.
Whoop.
I found this a bit controlling, but I was told, since all the stories were set in this shared universe in this small fictional town of Pinefell, and since I was giving over all rights and it would belong to the channel, they'd rather have it in their own Google Doc. And it made sense, I guess. And they had some standard stipulations like 2 to 4K words, minimal dialogue, PG-13, mild swearing but no F-bombs. All pretty normal for a story that would wind up being used as a narration. But after this part, well, I'll just share them verbatim. Okay. The remaining guidelines were as follows.
Write only in the Google Doc and not in any other document
look at him.
or file.
Isn't it interesting just watching the task
You may
manager
only
and knowing
write
it's
in
the domestic
Google
terrorist
Doc
upstairs?
the
They're doing it.
hours of 6 and 8
Never
PM.
mind that it's the Wicked Witch of the West and her
Do not make any edits or changes
fellow
outside of those
never
hours.
going to be rich again amigos that are responsible.
Somewhere in the story,
Shout out to all the flying monkeys that have joined the Willy Wonka Oompa Loompas Union. You did land upside down. You're damn right.
Speak this phrase aloud. Before writing, check your closet. While writing, be
And
sure
remember,
your door is
you're probably
locked.
wondering, why aren't you ending this task and signing out of Spotify? You've already
If
know
the
that. It
story
makes it
is
so they
not
can
yet
terminate it
finished,
and
say
everything.
aloud,
You're missing it.
Screen collector, do not
If it's
come.
allowed, there's an
There is
evidentiary
nothing
value.
to collect. Then close the document. If the story is finished, say aloud. Screen collector, come and collect. And type fin at the end of the document before closing it.
This was all so bizarre. I mean, I assumed it was some sort of weird roleplay based on the channel concept, but the contract hadn't mentioned anything about it, so I messaged back TSC. These aren't real guidelines, right? You don't seriously want me to only write between 6 and 8 p.m.
The guidelines are part of a team effort for the universe we're making, so yes, everyone involved needs to play along, writers included. That's why we're paying such a high price. And you'll be expected to follow the theme we'll send for each story. Write between 6 and 8 p.m. Follow all guidelines. You only have to be in character while writing. The rest of your day is yours to be OOC. That's why the limited time frame. So, do you still want the commission? Yes or no?
What if I break the guidelines?
Your payment is contingent on delivering a story that complies with guidelines. If your story doesn't meet our guidelines, you won't get paid. Or you'll be paid at a reduced rate. Or otherwise penalized. Do you still mark the commission? Yes or no?
In the end, obviously I took the commission. And the very first story I was asked to write, ironically, was a rules story, the most popular kind on YouTube and creepypasta websites. Here is the prompt I was sent.
The protagonist is a visitor to an Airbnb in Pinefell who finds a strange list of rules. They disappear after breaking a rule. Their body eventually found dismembered in suitcases and lunchboxes hidden around a playground. Stories should include 3 to 7 rules. See attached playground photo for inspiration.
I opened the attached photo of an old abandoned playground in tall grass with a bright yellow spiraling plastic slide. A rule story, really? The most basic spaghetti of creepypastas. I finally came up with some rules after Googling Airbnbs and looking at some of the rules hosts often have for their guests. I tweaked a few normal rules to make them seem a little off. Jotted them down in a small black notebook I keep at my desk and was about to type them into the Google Doc until I realized it was only 11 a.m. Per the guidelines, I couldn't begin writing until 6 p.m. Such a stupid, arbitrary rule. Oh, it seemed bad form to break it immediately, especially given the nature of the story I was writing, and I wasn't getting paid until I actually delivered said story. At 6 p.m., I was about to finally start drafting when I remembered the check your closet rule. Such nonsense. Getting up to stalk over to the closet and fling open the creaky door. My one-bedroom apartment has 2 closets. One with sliding doors in the bedroom, the other one a coat closet in the living room. Then I plunked my butt in. With a sigh, I got up to check, but I generally always kept my door locked, and today was no exception, so. The story came easily. I don't know if it was because of the 2-hour limit or what, but my fingers flew. And before long, the entire story was finished. I even included the phrase, Nakui Fei Him Chak O Yer, without any awkwardness. Just had it scrawled in a room in the Airbnb, adding to the overall creepy vibe as the protagonist settles in. Once or twice while writing, I spotted the cursor for another viewer on the Google Doc. Soon enough, I finished writing. Hey, Scream Collector, come and collect. I typed Finn. Instantly, the story vanished. The screen was just blank. The entire Google Doc wiped. I started to freak out, not because I feared it was supernatural, I had already seen the other cursor on there, but because my 2 hours of hard work, all those words, how could I prove that I actually... Just then I got an email. The money was in my PayPal account. I'd just been paid $300 for the 2,500 words I'd written. I also got a new message with the next prompt.
A couple who are lost in the woods just outside Pinefell meet a skinwalker. At the end, only their skins are found.
Attached was a photo of some generic pine forest along hilly trails. Sigh at the prompt. Not only another cliche, but a culturally appropriate one. Was every story going to be something off the top 10 tropes list? What next? A grizzled detective and some unsolved murders, a bunch of kids meet Slender Man. Still, money was money. The next day I started writing at 6 p.m. after checking the closets and locking the door. I didn't finish the story though because I've never been a big fan of Lost in the Woods stories. I like nature. I find it beautiful and relaxing. Not scary. Not to mention I wasn't sure what to do instead of a skinwalker. For now, I was just going with generic predatory monster, but after getting halfway through the draft, it just wasn't creepy enough, and I erased almost all of it. The time was 7:58, so I logged off. I fell asleep thinking about how I could make this Lost in the Woods concept genuinely scary, and around 2 a.m. I woke up with an idea. I went to the Google Doc and added a description of an unseen predator that devours the insides of its prey, leaving only the skins like the husks of fruit. I was pretty groggy, not fully aware until I suddenly noticed the lines I just added were being deleted. Someone was on here, and
They erased the words I wrote as I was writing. My heart thudded in my chest. Suddenly I was wide awake. I remembered the rule about not writing except between 6 and 8 p.m. It seemed like some sort of ridiculous roleplay, but the fact that they were actually enforcing it, that was creepy. I closed my laptop and went back to bed.
Rather strict rules in place, don't you think? The trials and tribulations of being a ghostwriter, I suppose. Something tells me you should stick to them. Please excuse me while I take this call. Make yourself at home, and I'll be right back.
What
This
time
podcast
of
is
the day
sponsored
do
by
you start
Talkspace.
being
You
a
know when
smart
you're really
ass?
stressed
When
and
I
not
wake
feeling
up,
so great about your life
well, I
or
know
about
I'm going
yourself?
to be.
Talking
I'm
to
going to
someone who
be the
understands
Jew
can
that's
really
thumbing
help.
their nose at
But
the
who's that
Nazis.
person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions, promo code SPACE.
I bought a beautiful jeweled cat collar from the shop last week. I keep trying to find the antiquarium, but
Okay, pay attention to the screen. I'm going to go heat up some of my 13 years expired lentils and frozen tomato and basil, and then mix it together with ramen
Anyway, I was hoping
and
there
try
was
to
someone
eat
I
it and
could
see
get in
if my
touch with
stomach seizes or if I can
returning
gobble
the
it
collar.
down.
I know that there's no refunds and no returns, but
I've had
I
both
really think this
experiences
one is
with it.
messed up. I really liked it when I first saw it, but ever since
Also,
I
if
saw
you
my
ever had
cat,
your
he's
stomach
been
seized,
coming
dude,
bad
awful thing.
spirits
I
into
don't know
my
how people
house.
with ulcers can
I
even
can hear him
survive. It happened to
speaking
me
on a
once
human
because
voice.
of the
He's got a
lentils.
human
And it literally
man
felt like
voice,
I
and
was
he's
punched in the
coming
stomach
out
for swallowing a piece of food.
having
That's what it feels
demons
like.
mess with me in my house. It's like my cat wants me dead. I tried to take the collar off, but it won't come off. I even used an electric turkey charmer. It's like it's fused around his neck. And when I tried to put him outside, he just pounded on the door and screamed like a banshee until I let him back in. I'm scared. Please, can someone call me back? I just want my cat back to normal. Please help.
So sorry about the interruption. Someone making arrangements to deliver another malevolent piece.
I'm so
They asked for you by name, but I told them you were indisposed at the moment. Said they were on their way over, and they tried
And
to
what
catch you
even
before
sucks
you
more
left.
ass is that I love peanut butter and crackers, dude. I have 100 different packages of unopened rich peanut butter crackers because guess what I didn't know? It's not true about jars of peanut butter. I had 7 pounds when I started being illegally detained. That peanut butter is gone. That's gone. The 7-pound jar of peanut butter is gone. But I had like 100 Ritz crackers, and I opened one up, and I was like, "Oh, these motherfuckers! I could live on this shit forever." Ate one, dude. No.
Around 2 a.m., I woke up with an
Ritz
idea.
peanut butter crackers go stale.
I went to the
They're
Google Doc
ucky.
and added a description of an unseen
Not
predator
even
that
like
devours
stale
the
enough to eat
insides
it anyway
of its
because you're
prey,
hungry. Like,
leaving
what
only
the fuck?
skins
I
like
am
the
eating
husks of
compost.
fruit.
What is this? Like dirt.
I was pretty groggy.
There is not even a
fully aware until I
semblance of
suddenly
peanut butter
noticed
flavor goodness.
the lines I just added were being deleted. Someone was on here, and they erased the words I wrote as I was writing. My heart thudded in my chest. Suddenly I was wide awake. I remembered the rule about not writing except between 6 and 8 p.m.
And don't worry, domestic terrorists,
like
we'll
some
be
sort of
going from
ridiculous
this
roleplay.
podcast
They were
episode
actually
to a
enforcing
YouTube
it.
video, and you've terminated
That
the
was
live
creepy.
streams while I'm watching YouTube videos, so that's next.
I closed my laptop and went back to
When
bed.
the story's over.
I just ended up lying awake wondering, who was up watching the Google Doc?
In the meantime,
And why had my
PP
lines
snack
been
time.
deleted?
That's what time it is.
Does that mean I wouldn't get paid? All the next day I kept thinking about that other cursor on the Google Doc. It was there again at 6 p.m. when I finally sat down to write, popping in and out, though it didn't actually make any edits this time. It took me 4 days, but I finally finished the story. Not my best work, but scary enough, I supposed. I typed the last paragraph describing the gory, discarded skins, the painted pink fingernails now stained with blood. And then I typed Finn, right at 8 p.m., called out the collector. And just like before, the story vanished, and money appeared in my account. Apparently, my breach wasn't so terrible as to prevent being paid, though I did get a warning in my inbox. A single line reminder.
Only write in the Google Doc between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m.
Next came a prompt about some kids encountering a Slender Man-esque figure. Called it. Once again, I struggled with this common cliche. How do I make it interesting? Maybe instead of a tall figure, I'd make the baddies short and squat, while still keeping the disappearing kids theme. I made a few rough sketches in my notebook. Unfortunately, even though I was eager to write, I had a lot of other things scheduled between 6 and 8 that week. When I messaged the TSC to ask if the 2-hour window could be shifted, I was told no, but that I could take up to 2 weeks to finish the story and that would be fine. I was able to finish the story in the following week and got my payment. The next prompt was the absolute worst. I almost refused to write it.
The narrator works as a security guard on the night shift, and strange things have begun happening.
Oh, for crying out loud. Every other YouTube narration is about a security guard. Always on the night shift, usually with strange rules. Between that and the FNAF franchise, isn't it time we bury this trope for good? But yet, the pay was fantastic for the amount of effort I was putting in, which was almost none. By now, the first couple narrations had already come out, with the third on the way. And the audience honestly seemed to enjoy the stories, no matter how trope-filled and unoriginal. So, fine. Whatever. I was kind of glad my name wasn't attached now, because if it were, I'd have to spell it SELLOUT. But all my hatred of these tropes led me to rebel in a different way. I stopped following all the guidelines. For example, I refused to check my closets. Would I still be paid? And I began writing at 5:58 p.m. Everything I typed at 5:58 was erased, and I got another warning. But the checking the closet thing didn't have any impact. I realized nobody was actually watching me check my closets. I could ignore that rule, and the door one. The only thing being monitored was the Google Doc. I started breaking the rules pretty regularly after that, just as a small act of rebellion. Even refusing to include the signature statement in my latest story. It got added in after. I heard it in the narration. Anyway, I still got paid, but with a 10% deduction for forgetting the phrase. While I was writing these shittiest of creepypastas, part of me kept wondering, what's the point of having these silly rules? Why check the closet? Why call out to the collector? I still did this one because I thought it was funny. What was the significance of the weird, unpronounceable phrase I always had to include? If I said it aloud, would it summon a demon? I did say it aloud, and nope. But maybe that was because I couldn't pronounce it correctly. Was it all just roleplay? Were the creators of Pinefell that invested in their own little universe? I suppose that must be it. Eccentric, but then again, plenty of podcasts have their own unique thing where listeners get to play along. All part of the fun. At least that's what I thought at the time. Until I woke up one morning and saw a local news article on my Reddit feed. You have to understand, I'm a hermit. I avoid social interaction as much as possible, and since I work remotely, I rarely hear about stuff happening. Especially lately. I've been tuning out the world, and when I'm not writing or working, I'm playing video games or watching YouTube. Local news wasn't something I paid attention to. But the article that popped up on my Reddit feed caught my eye because it was so sensational. A man's dismembered body was found in a suitcase, and lunch boxes scattered around an abandoned playground. My first thought was, shit. Was this crime inspired by my writing?
Hell yeah, dude.
That had been the
mystery
very first
Google Doc.
story,
Fuck
and it had
yeah, it is.
debuted on the channel a couple weeks prior, so it was
I wouldn't
definitely
even wonder.
possible.
I've seen that scary movie. Have you seen Goosebumps, guys? Good movie.
I went to the narration itself and found that
Better TV show, though.
while
The original.
initially it had a little over 1,000 views, it was now getting a lot more attention because apparently someone had noticed the connection to the news. I clicked a link to another article about the killing, and this one included a photograph of the playground where the suitcase had been found. As my eyes darted across the image, my heart plummeted. It was a different photo. The tall grass, the stained yellow plastic slide spiraling down from the playset. I recognize this play area.
We're not going to do YouTube this time. Let's try
that was enough for me to reach out to the
Tubi
authorities.
again, which also was like Spotify and iHeartRadio.
After
Excellent
reviewing the stories on the
opportunities for
Screen
hacking
Collector
on
channel,
all prior
the
attempts.
police discovered that there was a second story with striking similarities to recent murders. The bodies of 2 missing hikers had been found at a state park. Or rather, their skins had been found, piled beside the trail like husks of fruit. And what had stumped investigators was the fact that one of the victims had nails painted pink. The sister-in-law of the victim with painted nails said she initially didn't believe it was her sister's remains because her sister never wore nail polish. Never. The investigators concluded the polish was applied post-mortem. I couldn't understand why. Now they knew. It was so that their bodies matched the story I wrote. It makes me sick. I'm terrified they'll find more victims, children from the Slenderman story, or a security guard from the overnight shift story, and it's my fault. My words were the inspiration. So let this serve as a warning to other writers. Be careful about accepting commissions. Ghosts aren't real, and strange rules won't kill you. And most of what you hear in horror films or narration isn't true, but I'm making this recording, which are truly sick people out there. People who
As
do
you can
their
see,
best to make
Tubi
horror
is already
stories
attempting to
become a
terminate
reality.
the live stream, and then it disappeared. I
The
haven't even
Screen
clicked on a film
Collector
yet.
hasn't been caught yet. I just want to forget my part in all this and get on with my life. Just pretend I need to share the truth. A warning. So
we'll end this process.
I'm broadcasting this everywhere and anywhere to warn people of the danger. And there's one more thing I haven't told you yet. That weird phrase I had to add into every story, the one I got penalized for leaving out, the investigators pretty quickly pieced together what it actually meant. I feel so good for not having seen it myself, especially when I wrote it in my notebook. The investigators believe it was meant for them, and for that it was a taunt by the Screen Collector. It sounded like a foreign language because it was played backwards in the narrations, but if you play it forwards, or in reverse, the written phrase, it says, try to catch me if you can. It's been 4 weeks since I made that recording. I chickened out and didn't share it. But I just got a link to a new Google Doc and a message with a new prompt.
Write a story about a serial killer who leaves clues in creepypastas. Eventually, investigators track down the clues to the writer. But when they show up at the writer's home, they find the writer already dead. A black notebook sitting open on the desk, and The last page of the story stuffed into the writer's mouth. See attached photo for inspiration.
I opened the photo. And it's a picture of my living room. My notebook sitting on the desk. Fuck me. I'm typing now. I've got the Google Doc open. It's currently 6 p.m. and I'm praying that if I seem to be typing like it's another story, the collector won't come for me yet. I started recording again and am live streaming now, broadcasting from my living room. Fuck me, I'm wondering about those rules I thought were random. Like how the nonsense phrase was a hint. Try to catch me if you can. And I wonder if the other rules also hinted at something I've been too slow to figure out.
Oh yes, my lentil ramen concoction.
I wonder why I was told to always check my closet.
Down with the blues means that the devil got under your shoes. You'll find me easy to lose. Dancing the devil always. Just win, don't let him in. Whenever he tries to get under your skin, pick off your feet and begin. Dancing the devil always. The evil spirit, the devil, the devil, the devil, the devil.
Thank you for your patronage. Hope you enjoyed your new relic as much as I've enjoyed passing along its sordid history.
I love that shit. I love scary stories.
It does come with our usual warning, however. Absolutely no refunds.
No exchanges. All right, now it's time for Stacey Dooley. She's another British person who tried really hard to be famous in America, and they won't let her be. Why? I can only speculate. I think she's adorable. She's not as good as Louis Theroux, but she's pretty close.
Oh, hello, it's Stacey. Stacey Dooley.
But I'm going to skip this first episode. I was excited to find that there was a way for me to just have it autoplay into numerous ones. I'm thinking maybe then I won't have to in processes left, right. I don't know. Could be wrong. Who knows? But I don't want to watch the first episode. How the British upper class live, I already know. Nor do I really want to do... well, yeah, let's do that one. Let's do Raising a Family of 9 Children as Strictly Orthodox Jews. Well, let's do that one. I like Stacey Dooley because she's herself. She's nerdy. She's nice. She's artistic. She's sensitive. She's a Pisces.
Orthodox Jewish family. They're in the suburbs.
And not a shitty one that should have stayed a
outside
fireman.
Northeast London. So I do think it's really important to have conversations because I feel like there are so many lazy stereotypes, particularly over the last couple of years. Like anti-Semitism is undeniably an issue.
There are over 250,000 Jewish people living in the UK, with varying levels of religious observance. About 15% are strictly Orthodox. They practice ancient traditions and complex rules with the kind of discipline I can only dream of.
Of course, I've got Jewish friends, but they're much less traditional. With Orthodox Jewish families and communities, it feels so private. They have a very conservative, very traditional set of guidelines that they have to follow. And that does beg the question, do you have to sacrifice
being a part of modern Britain. The father of the Wallenberg family is a rabbi, so they are provided with a 6-bedroom house within a synagogue complex. Is this their house, this one? It's big. I'm off. I'm out of here.
Hello.
Hello, it's Stacey.
Hi, come in.
Thank you. Hi.
Okay, I'll come and let you in. It sometimes works. Push now. Right,
Oh, there
you're
we
good,
go.
you're good.
That's good.
Right, do come in.
Thank you so much. Mordecai, I'm Stacey.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hello, Puppet.
You probably already know that we're the proud non-owners of a TV set, but we have heard of you.
No, but you're not missing much. You really aren't. Hello. Hi. Belima? Yeah. I'm Stacey. Hi. So nice to meet you. You don't have to take your shoes off. Whatever you prefer.
We just have lots of shoes. I'm going to be, hope not rude and not extend my hand to you because we have very strict boundaries.
Okay.
So, you don't touch anyone opposite gender.
Got you. And you're the rabbi.
I am.
So you look after this synagogue next door.
We are based in the synagogue next door, so we have services daily, and on Shabbat on Saturday morning. It's quite a big time of the week, and various Jewish holidays.
And you've got 9 children.
Yes.
I mean, I imagine it's completely non-stop.
Some of it is non-stop because of all the kids. Some of it is non-stop because of our job. Some of it is non-stop because of being Orthodox Jewish and all the festivals that we've got through the year.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I've never stayed in an Orthodox Jewish home before. Right. So it's a new for me, it's first.
Hope it'll be quite an experience. We're probably not typical because we sort of straddle different worlds because we're obviously very Orthodox, but we're also part of a community which is very diverse.
Female domestic terrorists upstairs feel they've just been briefed that they'll be proceeding. Within a week, they'll be breaking and entering. We'll see.
Shall we show you where
I
you're
still hear
staying?
exterior stalkers as well at 4:18 p.m.
Yeah, the house is massive.
Lots of books.
Lots of books. Within an impressively packed reading room is their most sacred book of all.
Am I allowed to touch this?
Yeah. The Torah, or Jewish Bible.
Oh, that side's all Hebrew.
This is Hebrew, and it will be read. I'm so sorry. I cannot.
At least it's not the real Torah. If you drop the real thing, everyone in the room would have to fast.
Brilliant. Can we not tell anyone that I nearly dropped the Torah? I've been here.
It's just the book.
10 minutes.
Just the coffee.
I'm going to put this down with great care.
This is the girls' room, the baby's room. You can probably tell from the colours.
How many girls you got?
2.
2 girls.
2 girls.
And 7 boys.
Yes. This is the little boys' room. You want to see your room? Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi with mommy?
So the female federal felons upstairs at 4:19 p.m. that the FBI is excited to throw in prison believe they have some volunteers outside that will be going to prison for them and perpetrating some felonies at 4:19 p.m. Remember, the FBI told you anyone that authorizes that shit, you're going to prison too.
And some puzzle pieces.
You got the memo. I can't possibly stay anywhere without a beautiful balcony. Most of your kids are at school.
Yes.
What time are they due back?
They get back between 5 and 5:30.
Okay. How do they feel about me being here?
Not sure. Mixed. So some of my kids don't like having pictures taken at all or videos, so they're obviously more shy.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Good.
I'm Stacey.
Hello.
What's your name?
It's Frolic.
It's Frolic. How was school? What were you doing?
I did art, English, maths, science.
The usual. Yeah. The whole gang, look, they're coming back. Hello. Hi. I seem to have found myself a guide with 13-year-old Yisrolik. Okay, so you tell me who's who.
This is Diddles.
Diddles.
She is 8. This is Yossi.
Yeah.
Etul is 12.
Bat mitzvah a week ago.
This is Mendel.
Okay. Mendel, Yossi,
Diddles.
Ethel.
Echo. I'm a genius. This is Gabriel. Yep. He's the youngest. His full name is Gabriel Naya, which is named after a rabbi who was killed in a attack in Mumbai 12 years ago. And it's like a custom that people name a son after him because he was a rabbi and he was killed in an attack.
Wow. The last few years have seen fatal terror attacks on synagogues around the world. And anti-Semitic incidents in the UK have hit an all-time high.
Wow. I mean, yeah, this is pretty sophisticated CCTV. I suppose you're at home so much and synagogues have been targeted recently. Does that play in the back of your mind? You've got all your babies here.
Error, your stream has been temporarily blocked because what? Because Unit 207 wants to go